Oh, back at it again. I just had hit with a copyright strike by some punk motherfucker. But but that's been addressed. So I'm not gonna let that shit worry me. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? I got hit with a strike. Actually delete the video. It was an after stream of Juan G's. In case y'all have known, I got struck. I don't know why. Somebody struck it. And I don't know who struck it, but yeah, it got struck. It got hit. It got hit big time. But it's twice in a row. It's not gonna happen next year. But y'all better be careful with those videos. But it could be that guy, but I don't know. But all I know is I'm not gonna receive another one again. I don't have to scan that shit and edit certain things out. So let me get my shit right because this is gonna be a layover stream. So redo. It's no topic. I'm not a little frustrated. I'm just gonna say fuck it because it's a new year. Can't wait till the bullshit gets over with. And I don't know what to call this. It's a redo. Might have to put this in after pill. It's one of the layovers. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, get that shit addressed. Cause I know people's coming through, and I know people don't give a fuck about me right now, but that's okay. I'm just gonna be hanging out right now. I'm not trying to get pissed off or everything. I'm just, yeah, I lost the fucking stream to a strike. Ain't that some bullshit on a weak ass holiday? But it's a weak ass holiday anyway. I mean, I enjoyed a little bit of it. I don't really celebrate it, but and who shared the shit. I'm trying to make sure that was shared. Yeah, he shared it, but it got hit with a copyright strike. Yeah. It's fucked up, ain't it? It was an after stream, but them trolls, man, like it had to be some trolls that did that. That's part of the bullshit. So we're good for now on. But let me get my spiel off. That stream was kind of structured, to be honest with you. I don't really get into it. What's going on, AB? It's very structured, and I think me and DeAndre we talked. It was a good stream until someone struck it. But things happen. It's not meant to be. So I'm not gonna do another one like that again. Lesson learned. I believe certain people just want to see you fail and things like that, and that's okay. That's this channel always be a risk, and I'm not risking that. I'm not fighting no small YouTuber, and I'm not dealing with that. Just because a guy has a small channel, he's not a threat to me. I'm not wasting my energy on that. I'm done with that shit. Fight your own battles. I gotta look at my specs for a minute. Yeah, I'm tired of stupid people, man. Like I'm cleaning house. Yeah, I'm sending out cold. But that stream, man, that bullshit. Um, man. Yeah. But that's the thing. And I'm not even tripping anymore. Like, and that's how you get down. Let's see, my audio's good. Guest stop knocked off. Okay. Yeah. There we go. So we was talking about it, and I think Juan G's had a hell of a stream the other night. And I'll say this morning, it was a good stream. We talked about a lot of things. I mean, we got things aired out. And I don't know why I got hit. I was looking into it. What's going on, Shar? Salute, 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 salute. You know, it's a mess. I'm back at it again, so I don't know how long I'm gonna be on this because I just gotta have a stream for the day or the next day, and I'm good. Because a lot of people be striking your shit, so it had to be that troll that I had earlier. You know how it is. It had a lot of views, but you know how it was. It's a good conversation, but sometimes it happens. You know, you just it's not that time of the year. It's the bullshit of the year. You know, when you deal with certain people. I ain't think it was a copyright claim. Had to be that troll that I had let on the panel. But he's gone now. He's not welcome anymore. They look for any excuse to take my channel down, and I ain't got time for that, especially if you're doing a live stream. See, the problem with me is I ain't trying to get terminated. I ain't got time for that. I'm not going to get frustrated. I'm not going to get emotional. I'm not going to get none of that. It's not happening. It's not happening. If I see a problem, I'm going to fix it. I'm not dealing with that. It's certain things they let you get away with. You don't want to get monetized, and then they strike your shit, and then there you are. It's best not to play the copyright game because it's broken. It's a broken system. Because normally I say, how did I get claimed? Somebody claimed that by accident, but a troll did that. I'm not gonna argue with them about that shit because they on some bullshit when they do that. But you gotta understand what time it is, because most people, it's that time. Somebody's got to go, and I'll send this out. And I'm not gonna respond to dude about that. I'm not doing someone's dirty work. Get someone else to do that. Yeah, I got people, but they're busy. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what to do on that. He's a small channel. I don't have an issue with that. That's something y'all got to do. It's not worth it. I'm out of that shit. Get somebody else to do that. And I hope you're listening, but I can't do it, man. I ain't trying to risk that shit. There's no need. Because I got enough problems to deal with next year. I know everybody's on this purge shit. I don't give a fuck about the purge. Fuck out of here. Yeah. When you get hit with a copyright strike, it's not disappointment. I'm kind of pissed off a little bit, but I'm not pissed. I'm just like, fuck it. I didn't need that after stream. That was just a waste. To me, it was a waste of stream. I think it was a waste of 5 hours. I was looking for something to do. I should have streamed today, but I'm glad I'm streaming now, going on to the next day and focus on Sunday Madness. That ain't stopping. That ain't stopping. But y'all be careful with the links y'all send, man. Like, I'll put that shit in the chat. You know, I ain't trying to get hit and argue about no cop. I think the troll hit it. Normally, I would have got away with it. I gotta say fair use for now on, and banners and shit. Some things I'm just gonna have to just call it out. Hate copyright claims. That copyright claim was false claimed. That's what it was. And then I didn't want to argue with that. That troll did that. I'm just gonna say the troll did that because I felt like it didn't break an agreement, but I didn't want to get in an argument, counterclaim. You know what I'm saying? And I just took the shit down. What's going on, Joe W? Salute, salute. I had to get that monkey off my back. I said, you know what? I'm not gonna argue with this bullshit. That was a wasted stream. And I'm kind of like, I'm not disappointed. It was a good stream, but it was bullshit at the same time because I had that troll on there. I wanted to start blocking motherfuckers, man. Like, that sky trolling is gonna stop. I won't put a cease to it. I had to change my about me section. You know, when I put esoteric, I said, oh, hell no, that's what's attracting them. As soon as I did that, somebody had to flag my shit. So I already know. I already knew. Yeah, I had to cut down on that shit. So what I have to do is be mindful of what I put in the about me section and things like that. But it's no biggie. I dealt with this shit for decades, and motherfuckers always want to try you. They ain't got nothing else to offer. Once they bitch asses fold, they fold like biscuits, man. I'm telling you. Like, I'm not gonna argue with these idiots, man. Like, it's not even worth it. Like, at this point, what's the point getting angry at them? The worst thing I would never do is to try them. Like, I don't have patience for that. I have patience for a lot of things, but that I don't. Trying to deter me for shit. Got a lot of bitch ass people in the world. What's going on, nicer? Fuck these people on the internet. But that's what you got to deal with. Those are the trolls that I don't want to attract. Cause see, I'm back in the algorithm. Everybody wants to jump on now. Get the fuck out of here. I'll tell you that right now. If I don't know you, get out of here. Straight up. It's not a channel for you. So if they leave you alone, they leave you alone. So it's certain ways people leave you alone. People want to copyright you in the public algorithm. So I got to be careful, and what I attract. But I don't believe it's the videos I've done. I have videos that could have been striked. You know what I mean? Unless it's coming from me. You know what I'm saying? But on live streams, it's not what it is. Like, I think live streams, we got to be careful what we put. I mean, Dre had a good video. That was his. It didn't get strike. But somebody struck it. It was a troll. And I'm just saying it. What happened? If you ask me what happened to it, it got struck by a troll. And I wasn't gonna participate in that shit. And you know why? It's a game. They use that tactic on me a lot. I seen shit. I see shit for what it is. If you're gonna come at me, you better come harder than that. You failed. So I can do a redo streams many times. I don't like doing redo streams because I can cut them short and I can just end it and be a one-man show. It's just, this is why I don't like Google and YouTube in general. The policies are broken. That's why it ain't shit. And that's why I stopped doing content, because of this shit. That's the number one reasons why I kind of stopped. It's a shit website. And if we had our own website, it's still gonna be trash. That's why I say fuck all of it. I wish we had internet regulation. Bad. And just get rid of the flag button. Because people abuse it too much. That's what I want. Because that way we won't have no problems. You want to get rid of trolls, get rid of the flag button off YouTube. They'll stop that shit immediately. You know what I'm saying? They don't have no power. That ain't gonna stop trolls. Trolls gonna troll you regardless. They're gonna troll you from the super chat, and I've learned this on live streams. The best way to get rid of they bitch asses is to get rid of the flag button. That's why this whole website is garbage. Because I'm gonna fully invest in Rumble in the future. I'm so sick of this bitch ass site. It's not even fucking funny, man. Like, but his bitch ass is not coming back no more. If I see him again. But I know who it was, and I'm glad I addressed it, because it was a decent stream. It wasn't the best stream, but he kind of killed it for me. Like, that bitch ass behavior, I'm just not gonna tolerate it. I'm already pissed off about that. Like, that could have been a good stream for the holidays, and but I say fuck that stream. I got a stream tomorrow on Go In Raw. I don't want no weirdos on that shit. And I know who's attracting them. I don't want that shit on my channel. That's the fucking problem. You got a lot of stupid motherfuckers on the internet, and this is the time of the year they're acting up. But I say fuck all of them. You know what I mean? Because I gotta have my channel a certain way, and I'm not gonna let someone dictate that. To that person, fuck you. Next time I'm gonna do you the same way. I don't like flagging people, but next time I will. Next time I will. I don't like the right shit. Yeah, they did. It was a troll. It was a troll that did that. And I'm kind of slightly pissed, but I'm all right because that's part of it. And you know, that's just like that's just like one of the things come to the territory. And it had to be the guy earlier in the stream that I bounced off. It had to be because he don't comment in the chat. So I see a pattern. I had to change my about me section. So that shit is gonna stop. I'm gonna have to start putting my foot down because I'm tired of weak motherfuckers ruining my content like that. So I'm still gonna have open discussions. I'm just not gonna have no weirdos. If I don't know you, I'm bouncing you. Period. You know what I'm saying? But don't do shit like that. I already banned like 3 guests. I usually don't do that. I try to be fair, but you got a lot of weirdos, man. But that's what happens when you're doing these type of content because you're risking it. Motherfuckers think they have a privilege. You don't have a privilege on this channel like that. I'm sorry, but not sorry. But you gotta have that decorum with they ass. So I'm not trying to get angry over this shit. I mean, you know, the holiday seasons is what it is. I mean, I'm just gonna be real. I ain't eat much. I think I had dessert twice. Talked to some family and some stuff. I had some shirts and some cups as gifts. But after that, I'm good. I didn't really need much. I'm just focused on tomorrow because today's been a wash for me. I'm kind of like fuck it. Once I get into the motions of it, I'll be good. Because some people is busy with their little shit. I'm not gonna worry about people all day long. Yeah, when you get struck by a troll, man, it's disheartening. You know what I mean? It's disheartening. And I mean, yeah, I have to. It's one of those things, man. But it happens, and that's like my second time. I would say this year. I would say when I did that Sunday Madness #1, my first one, and it's some bullshit too. So I had to do something, and you know, but that's what happens when you fuck with a lot of idiotic trolls. Kind of pissed in a way because that could have been something, but fuck it. You know, I don't know what stream this is going to be. This is going to be just a redo. I don't really give a shit because I got my dynamic on me. Because normally I would have went condenser. I said nah because I knew this shit was going to happen. I knew something weird was going to happen on a holiday I don't really celebrate as much like I used to. And especially doing YouTube, it's not easy because now, no, I will not do a stream on this holiday again. A lesson learned for me. Yeah, that Japan was nice. I don't think it was flagged. I think the troll flagged it as an excuse. It was fair use. It's no issue. But that was a troll that did that. I'm trying to find out who flagged that shit. Well, see, without warning, you don't know. Damn. Like, you know, that's why I ain't gonna argue about it. And I say, man, fuck they little copyright system. And I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I think Rashawn got a couple of claims and things like that. But see, I'm not arguing with people with a copyright claim. They say you're not affected, but it was a copyright claim. You got so many claims and all that. See, I ain't got time for that. You know what you do to those videos that they claim and shit? I just delete it and start over. I ain't got time to argue with people because what it does, over time, they're gonna harass you because that's how they take your channel down. Because I don't trust Google or YouTube at this point because you don't know what rules they got. It's best to get rid of it. That's my advice because claiming that shit and arguing, I tried that shit 9 years ago. It was a waste. I think I chopped up some videos pre-record with the Hebrew Israelites and they wasn't going for it. They was not going for it. I beat so many copyright claims way back in the day when I had my old channel. I beat several of them. But 9 years ago I couldn't because it just wasn't happening because of the new system. That's why it's broken. And I say the whole site needs a whole change. They need to get rid of the flag button. If they're gonna do that, why don't they just take the video down? You know. But I'm not saying it's Google and YouTube. It's a troll. The trolling part of it, when they do that, that needs to stop. The best way to get rid of that is the flag button. They won't troll as much. They just mad because I won't let them on and shit. Fuck out of here. If I see them, I'm gonna block your ass. That's just how you gotta treat them. So they can't do nothing about it. I see what it is though, but I'm not worried that it's just a bullshit stream that I did. It was an after stream with Juan G's, but I'm just like, I don't want to redo it again. I said, you know what? I'm just gonna redo the stream and take him out of the title. It was a copyright claim thing. And that pissed me off. Like that really pissed me off. Like that could have easily been a stream that I like. It's gone new. But I'm done with the bullshit. Like when I saw that same person with the weed, oh, he's gone from now on. Like, yeah, he's a troll. Like I know what he does is a pattern. I had to take that out of my about me section because that's what draws them. I figured what trolls do. See, I've studied this shit for years, and what I've learned is you put certain things in your about me section and all that, they won't retract. That's cool, but it's retarded. That's surface level. You can put what the fuck you want on your about me section. You just got these bitch ass trolls. They see your shit and they think they can the fuck out of here. I'm okay losing subscribers on that one. That one I can sacrifice, but you got a lot of bitch ass people want to ruin your shit. But it's cleansing time. You gotta cleanse the shit because everybody's trying to flag and and it could be the bots. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's trolling and acting crazy. Gotta be careful with these damn bots. These bots be out of goddamn control, man. That has to stop. I think Google and YouTube is going to have to fix that next year. Get rid of these bots. Then we can stream better and get rid of the flag button because I think that's what's going on. What's going on, Wacky Shalom. And I feel like it just killed the whole site. And a lot of people are tired of the bullshit. But what I saw just now, and I had to delete it, I said, you know what? If anybody asks, it got struck by a troll. And I know who it was. I already blocked him, so it's taken care of. I'm not gonna argue with people this year. This channel's gonna be all right. It's just a lot of bullshit that comes with the territory. That's why I don't say fuck monetization, because that's a part of it too. They can take your shit and just be gone. What's going on, Juan G? Salute. Yeah, Juan G's, if you're listening, that video got struck by a troll. So don't worry. He ain't coming back again. I know who it was. It's a lot of shit, weird shit going on because it's the end of the year, so they got to do some shit. Because I'll take a week off and I will have to restructure my shit. Because I don't know what to do like with trolls. I can have open discussions in the link in the chat. I can do that. The trick is I got to block motherfuckers that I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I have to do that. It's my responsibility. You can have them. The trick is I want to start putting the link in the description more and try not to put it in the chat. I might have to pin that shit or put it in the description or something like that. That's what I'm gonna start doing because they won't find it that way. You know what I'm saying? Like that way I won't have no problems. I want to start doing that. I want to be I usually pin them But you got a lot of weirdos, man. But you got to understand, like, yeah, it's a merger, but the thing is, you can't let it stop you, because I'll do them for open discussions. But when it comes to structural topics, oh, I got to put that in the description because some people like to derail shit. Yeah, he's weird and he's a troll. That's what they do. They skywatch you and then they hit the link. That's what it is. It's gone chaos. And I've learned this the long time ago. Like that's twice around. And every time with him, it's a copyright strike. And I'm like, he's been watching. So I had to cut him off. So yeah, he's gone now. Just be careful if he's sky watching, don't let him on the panel. So I'm not gonna let him on the panel again. If I see him flashing that shit, you out of here. I told you it's these trolls, man. Like, you know what I mean? Just be careful if y'all send me videos if he's around, because I think he's trolling right now. Because I don't want to talk to weirdos like that. Like, it's enough. I deal with enough already. You know what I mean? They piss me off all the time. I kicked the another one off was windmilling for the man. I got that stream. That ain't going nowhere. I'm having fun with that. It's just like, just be careful. Just send me links and information. Good. But if it's on Yahoo, it's good. But if he sees something from YouTube, he's gonna flag it. He's that type of troll. Dre has a right to show it because I would have got away with that. Long as that troll ain't watching. You know what I'm saying? Like that hate watching, this gotta stop. So just be careful. Cause I don't want to take streams down. I don't like doing shit like that. That pisses me off. You know what I'm saying? Like that pisses me off. That pisses me off. I hate repealing shit because 9 out of 10 won't work. I tried that shit 9 years ago. It don't work for me now because of the new system. They need to get rid of it. I hate bitch ass people. They ruin everything, and it's just annoying as a motherfucker. And this is why I fucking hate this website. And I'm okay with streaming. I just don't like this website. Period. If I find one that does StreamYards, owns, invest in that. For now on, if I do YouTube, I'm just gonna start doing pre-records and just do it that way in vlog stream. Cause you got a lot of bitch ass people trying to fuck up your shit. I'm just telling it like it is. If I have to stream, I'm just gonna have to roast niggas, man. That's what I'm gonna start doing because people get away from that. See, I have to go to content that works. Let me bring up the information and put it in the chat so y'all can watch it. I mean, it's cool, but it's not Dre's fault. I think the troll did it because I didn't see his name or in it. It's just somebody struck that shit. I'm like, God damn, no. But any day. They picked the wrong day to fuck with me, but that ain't gonna happen. But this one will stay up. Don't you worry. This one will stay up. They're not fucking with me this time. You listening, fuck you and stay off my channel. That's all I'm gonna say. Fair warning. It's gone, Psycho Candy. But yeah, I'm just sick of the bullshit, man. Yeah, that's that punk ass troll that I dealt with. But yeah, if he's listening, fuck you and stay off my shit. I'm just gonna have to tell Dre, yeah, watch out for that troll in that video because he's probably sky watching. I'll block him. That's all I can do. I can't do much. Just got some fuck idiots fucking with your shit. And I'm learning that I had to change my about me section. That's what's drawing him. And when I saw the term esoteric, I said, "Oh hell no! Let me get that out of there," because that's he kept, and I don't want that on my channel. Like I had to look at that. I said, "Wait a minute, he's trying to fuck with my shit," and then I had to look at my content for a minute, and I said, "Wait a minute." I did a lot of live streams, but you can't repeal shit. See, this is a good thing about computers. I can have my YouTube studio, things like that, and I'm just like, it's the beauty of having it on the computer because you understand what's going on. Like a lot of people's gonna do their thing, and it's just crazy, man. Like you learn a lot when you do content, but I ain't getting frustrated over this shit. It's retarded to me. That means the site is dying, man. Like as usual, everybody's got options, but I'm not fucking with it in the future. I'm just gonna leave it up as it is because I'll be done live stream probably, and I'll probably do pre-records for y'all and do it that way because y'all don't appreciate shit. I'm start seeing that from now on. I'll do them periodically because I already covered enough content. It's just dumb. And then I had a dislike, and once I had that dislike, and someone gave me a copyright claim, that's just some crazy shit. Some crazy ass shit. Much shit that I have to take, and they think I was monetized. They so retarded. I don't monetize this shit. It's not even worth it. It's so much shit that I've had on here. See, that's why you can't even play videos no more. The reaction videos. The reaction community actually killed YouTube. I'm gonna tell you a secret. It actually killed YouTube. It actually killed YouTube. Quiet as a scale. It actually killed YouTube. See, the next 3 streams, I should be good. I'm not going to talk about a lot of things on Sunday Madness because certain people don't need to be discussed. I mean, this is one of the things that I have to see for what it is. Let's go on, Auntie. And I'm just like, bruh, I got to look at it this for what it is, man. I'm not trying to get upset over this shit. I'm like, I figured that's the new direction. I'm glad I'm not choosing monetization. It's not even worth it because they'll take your shit over some dumbass shit. Yeah, this channel is gonna be proxy from now on. If I create another channel, it's gonna be money based, and I'm not gonna have a panel. Want to do something different. I don't know what type of content I'm looking for. I am, but I'm not in no rush. Once I do and I get a different computer, I won't have no problems. This won't be my backup or something like that. I ain't gonna make this a backup channel. This is not a channel for everybody. No. I'm gonna remain that way. It's not a channel I would promote it. I'll do pre-records on it. That's it. But you motherfuckers don't deserve shit. These trolls, man. You ruin everything. And it pisses me off. Like, and I'm thinking about it right now. It's just, that's why I say fuck monetization as a whole. It's not worth it because I've seen this shit. And when they copyright the claim, like, I don't want to hear that shit. Miss me with that money bullshit. It's for bitch ass people. And then you wonder why they struggle to get their channel back. I ain't got time for that. That's why I'm looking into a second channel. I don't have to deal with that. Fuck Google and YouTube money. I'm seriously thinking about going somewhere else because I already know what's coming. This one's gonna be like a channel for like it's a chill spot, but it's not just a chill spot, it's for information, and I'm just passing it along. And that's what it's based off. Live streams is not worth it anymore because I'm gonna put a halt to it eventually because I gotta get my background situation fixed, and I'll be all right. I'm just, I'll do content, but I'm just not gonna dedicate that bullshit to somewhere else. Yeah, I mean, fuck all that shit. I'm good for the future because that's why I fucking hate doing content again. After 6 years of hiatus, it's the same bullshit. If they change the policies, I would love to see some changes. Get rid of the flag button. Then you get my respect. But to now, fuck this whole site. I'm saying that right now because I feel like if I get a website or build one or something, it's still garbage. I'm just like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in the mood this year. I'm not gonna scream and yell on these punk ass niggas on the internet. I'm just not. It's not worth it. All right, lost my shit over that shit years ago. So yeah. But I'm not even mad anymore. It's just like it's the bullshit that we have to go through. Like I'm sick of this shit. You try to do a good fucking stream, but motherfuckers want to ruin everything. Want to ruin every damn thing. And I had Toya on the panel too. That's the fucked up thing about it. It was a screenshot, but you know what I'm saying. But yeah, I don't know if I want to keep the screenshot. I think yeah, I might as well keep the screenshot because after that, I don't know. I might have to keep that in handy. So yeah, it's certain things I gotta keep. Motherfuckers is just trifling, man. But that's part of the world. Like, people trying to see you fail on this shit. That's why I don't invest in it. Long as I've been in this shit for years, it's gonna fall apart the way it's gonna go. I already see a pattern. I already lost faith in it like years ago. When I lost my channel, man, I tried to do the entertainment thing, but it just didn't work for me. It didn't work for me, and I'm not fucking with that. I got to do something else. I got to do something that's going to be, if I have a different type of podcast and things like that. But the risk is the videos and shit. See, you can't react videos. That's what kills YouTube for me, because you can't do much. And this site is tarnished. It needs restructuring. Period. I mean, it's just like the site is dead. I'm just gonna tell you right. And Google killed it. I wish they sell it to somebody that you can get away with reactions and things like that. I would love to see new ownership for this site, because this site can be better. If it wants to be better, Google has to sell it, because Google's and their policies is just ridiculous. Like, that's why people get flagged. You get a lot of trolls from Google. A lot of people don't know that. Google has the worst trolls. They ruin everything. Because if you notice, when you go on Twitter, they say Twitter's got the worst trolls, which is BS. It's not true. Just don't give out your information, because Twitter, you just tweeting. Yeah, you send pictures, but it's that one individual. It's just you and an individual. You don't see a lot of flagging and channels getting taken down. And, the website does its job, right? That's why I respect Twitter. Instagram does its job. They flag your shit for you. All of them. But this bitch ass site, hell no. It's a bias. They pick and choose who they want to pick. They need to get rid of Google needs to sell it. I would love to see them sell this shit to somebody better. If y'all want to really make some money, this site would be better, but technically it won't, because they're trying to kill this shit. And I don't blame them. Ain't nobody gonna participate in this bullshit. It's not a free platform. It's a controlled platform. Even if we got our own platform, you're still gonna have problems. I tried that shit years ago with a website with me, Elder Young, but niggas don't even want to listen because they're so goddamn stupid. Fuck them. You know what I mean? And I'm glad I'm going other ways with it. There's other platforms better than this shit. This shit's gonna be tarnished. I can't wait till this shit gets tarnished. And y'all gonna see what I'm talking about, because Google is fucking up big time. I'm so tired of their bullshit. This is why I like Twitter sometimes, man. Twitter is the only options doing something good. YouTube's been destructive lately. Like, it's a bitch ass site that I want to go away. That's just my preference. It's a failure. It had its moments since 2000. I'll say about the height of '07, even in the beginning when it was started. I'll say '05 from '07. I would say about 2011. But 2012, that's when the shit ended. That's when they got strict with the rules and shit. Google makes me sick all day long, man. They fuck up everything with their weak ass policies. That's why Google Hangouts is trash. You use it on the Messenger, you just can't do the live stream versions of it. Yeah, I'm sick of this bullshit. I would rather go somewhere else and build content, but you know, it ain't shit on the internet. That's why I say fuck all of it. That's why we need two internets. I've always preached there should be separate. In 2024, I wish people would just make a demand on that because it's ridiculous, man. Like, we deal with this shit all the fucking time. Brain Trust ain't gonna do shit about that. What the fuck them niggas gonna do? I heard him mention our names. Like, nigga, y'all ain't doing shit. So that's the fucking problem. This is why I say fuck all of it. Like, we need a counter shit. Like, website ain't gonna cut it. You need something to buy that off their ass. Like, YouTube can be valuable, but it's a waste. It's a shit site. I'm telling you, the trolls done killed it. And I already know what killed it. Because you got bitch ass people ruining it for everybody. That's why people lose faith in it. There's other sites better, but it ain't gonna solve nothing. You still got to deal with the same problem. The only way you can do that is have two internets. I'm telling you, that's the only way, man. What's going on, Cam? I'm just tired of the monkey shit. And people say fuck all of it together because there's other sites can do better platforms. I say fuck Facebook. I don't even like Facebook. I deactivated that shit a long time ago. YouTube's not a site anymore. You know, you want to troll. That's easy. But what's the point having a website? You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen that tried and done, and niggas don't want to work together. Fuck them. You know what I mean? And I'm good. I'm good on that because I already know what my future is gonna be with this shit. Because I create another channel, it's gonna be a small podcast and things like that. But I don't know if I want to create a podcasting channel because half of you motherfuckers ain't talking about shit. Talk about a bunch of bullshit. What's the fuck y'all talking about? Y'all get on my nerves talking about retarded ass shit. It's not content to me. It's trash content. See, my shit is tainted for a reason. So I disagree with his punk ass saying his black. My shit's blacklisted, you dumb nigga. Hell, I can't even crack 2,000. Come on, man. Fuck out of here. I'm still the most hated in black sectors. If I joined a different sect, I won't have no issues. But that ain't gonna solve a damn thing because this whole site is trash. I would love to see some rule changes, period. Greetings, College James. But but this is bullshit. Like, I've seen a lot of people go through this bullshit all the time. Big and small. I'll say super small to super big. And they're done with this shit. Because you got a lot of bitch ass people on the internet. Like, that gets on my goddamn nerves. One thing I hate about this site that will tarnish is the bullshit that I see from everybody. You get tired of that shit. I get y'all have a standard, but your shit don't work, man. I've seen it. It's gonna take a lot of people to back away from this shit. That's why I'm taking a break from this shit next month and jot out what I'm gonna do because live streaming like this is ridiculous. Like, it's cool, but it's not worth it at the same time. Like, I'm sick of getting flagged a lot. You know what I mean? I don't get flagged a lot. I'm just sick of the bullshit, period. You get tired of that monkey shit after a while because that's annoying. You try and do some content and then, monetizing won't solve anything. All it does, you still get flagged and your channel's gone because you got to play by the rules and shit. See, that's not entertainment. It's bullshit. If it was entertainment, they need to get rid of half of the rules. Don't make no damn sense. Unless you get a cosign. That cosign shit's gonna die off too. I say fuck all cosigns in particular. I'm just tired of cosigns, period. Because once you get a cosign, there you are. You know what I'm saying? I'm not angry about it. I'm just telling it like it is. Like cosigns is just another way you can get in, but they always want to try you, man. Like I'm so sick and tired of fucking up. Not mad, not angry about it. I'm just telling it like it is. Because motherfuckers just don't know how to not have shit. And I'm just gonna keep it like that. So when you have people like that, you just build your confidence. But I'm glad I knew this was gonna happen, and I knew somebody was trolling and knocking my shit because normally I wouldn't have got a copyright strike. Somebody did that. It was a troll. It was someone else's video. You don't get flagged for that shit. And it's a copyright claim. I looked at the person's name, it didn't came from no particular, but it was somebody was trolling me doing that. It's happened before. It's happened before. This is nothing new. This is gonna I'm gonna see for what it is because they're coming out of the woodwork. But I say fuck the algorithm. I don't believe in algorithms. Algorithms is a form of laziness. I think the algorithm needs to be moderate by a human because what you put in the algorithm is a lot of people start to say you're competing against the algorithm. Fuck an algorithm because all it does take certain things out your titles and mix it up. You can talk about the same shit everybody else talk about. The difference is just sell it off to somebody else. What you do is don't put it in the header and just have key phrases and throw people off because most people are stupid on here. That's what you're gonna have to have because a lot of people will get triggered by certain words. And I'm glad I took the term esoteric out. That's a fucking problem. You got a lot of fucking trolls, man. Like they see my shit, they fuck up for everybody. Like, bruh, I had to change my whole about me section. And that's the fuck up thing about it. And then once you realize they were fucking with you the whole time, I already knew what it was a troll the whole time. See, he ruined some of my streams too. I let him have it. He was, yeah. I just put classic because it's vague. I got to be vague with these idiots. And I'm still learning how pathetic people are on YouTube. Like I'm not trying to monetize my channel this one I won't. But if I in the future I will get another channel, but I don't know when. I'm gonna get my production up first. I gotta see what my background is off air, offline. See, I gotta deal with some personal things to move around to get that level. I'm not in no rush because I'm not fully invested in this shit money wise. I'm not because I do this shit just a hobby. This is nothing to me. I'm trying to build a certain way. This one, I'm just gonna use this as a standard channel because I already know what type of content I'm gonna do, man. Because I'm done with this shit. What's going on, information, man? No. He was just trolling. He was sky trolling. He didn't participate. I got rid of him. That's that bullshit algorithm. And then the key trigger words. My issue with his bitch ass, he's not welcome again. He's a punk ass white troll that's not welcome. They come from Canada and all types of shit. So I have to be very careful with trigger words. But fuck him. He's not coming back. And I think Dre told me about it. I already know the keywords he's got. He talks about the shit I had to take out of my about me section. That right there, I had to clean up. So I'm knowing now why he's coming through the channel. I'm gonna have to do that Sunday too. I mean, this coming up tomorrow. We'll have to knock some motherfuckers loose. I ain't got time for that shit. I already got enough problems. I I wish they just troll in the fucking chat. I won't have to deal with this shit. Cause I'm not one of those channels that have it like that. You know what I mean? If I was, I don't like arguing with copyright claims. I mean, the site is already tainted. Like nobody is putting an investment in this shit. You'd be a fool to do that shit. Just speak your piece and move the fuck on. It's good. Let me tell you something. It's good to get money off this. It's cool, but for me, I don't give a fuck about the money at this point. I just want the content to be pure. The money can come later. That's why I'm gonna start doing another channel. Because if I do another channel, it's not gonna be money driven. I'm not gonna beg. I don't give a fuck because I'm not that hurting. The other shit is I'm trying to build certain things. I don't give a fuck about the other channel at this point. I'm kind of pissed in a way. I just don't know what fucking content I want to do besides the shit that I do on here. I don't like switching up. It's retarded. I mean, that's y'all, but that ain't me. I don't do shit like that. I'm sorry. I just don't do that. It's fucking ridiculous when you have to do that when a site has been tarnished like that. Fuck all of it. Period. Because it's one of them sites that's about to die anyway. Like I can't wait when they pull the plug off this shit in 2024. Because I already know it's not gonna make it. Trolls killed it. I saw this coming years ago, but I didn't think they was gonna skywatch and troll you. I'm like, God damn. I see why people put the links in the description. It's kind of fucking ridiculous, man. And then that's what you got to deal with. It's the monkey shit behind it. That's the thing about it. Like you got to really pay attention who is coming through, and then your channel and what you're written. Some things is just best not to get angry about it. I'm like, man, I'm good, bro. That's the whole point. Cause you got a lot of weird motherfuckers that come through and start shit. And that's the fucked up thing about it. And I'm just tired of the madness right now. But I realized something. Never get upset about it. Deal with it. Deal with it as you can. Because one day you're gonna appreciate it. It's nothing wrong with having good content, but mine's is basic. I'm just getting the start of it because if I ever want to get monetized on this channel, it has to be. I can't deal with a lot of strikes because you got trolls that want to not see you good, and that's what happens when you participate. They look at live streams as gold mines, but the new pre-records is is a thing. But if you go after certain people, certain space, they won't flag you and shit. It's always something when you're dealing with white trolls. And I dealt with them, well, actually decades really, on my old channel and the new one. But see, they look at your channel as a threat. So I'm saying I ain't got time for that. I'm not in the mood this year to fight them. You know what I mean? Because it's already been a bad year for most people. Next year will be good. They say I don't care about next year. Next year, it's the same old shit. It's gonna be some purging. They need to clamp down on doxing. Period. Because this is getting ridiculous at this point. Because people can't do content anymore. A lot of these people need to be swallowed up. You know what I'm saying? You get tired of that shit after a while. Because sometimes you want to be king on it and just, I'm just like, bruh. Yeah. But I feel like this holiday is kind of mild. I don't celebrate this holiday as much. I mean, last year I didn't really celebrate it because thank God we had like the lockdown and shit. Think I got a cell phone for my as a gift. But I'm just like, wait a minute. The cell phone I got now, I got that as a Christmas. It's been a year since I got it. So, what I mean? I'm look back at it now. I had my old phone at the time. Yeah, Discord is all day long. But that motherfucker ruined my content, man. I'm kind of pissed off in a way. But fuck it. But I'm glad I did a redo stream. And it's a long story, but I'm not gonna get into that whole ass shit. I hate this website so much. I would love to go to Rumble and build this shit off. I'm so tired of this shit. It ain't even funny. But yeah, I need some peer audience for this shit because this shit is not gonna cut it. Starting next year, I'm gonna have to recalibrate and pick a certain audience, man. Like I'm gonna keep the ones I got in here right now. I ain't saying y'all, but I need a bigger one, bad, because to get rid of these goddamn trolls, man. Learn about this other side shit. We need some new blood because what we're doing is not working. I'm gonna make a suggestion to the captain. I said, "Nah, we need to combat these motherfuckers. It's gonna be a problem because you got to clinch them." Oh, salute, Sig Diggy, aka Wolf. Yeah, they ain't seen me sweat. I say fuck all of it, man. I'm good. It's just fuck this whole website. Period. Fuck all of it. I'm good, man. We just need some protection. I want some new people. I'm tired of the bullshit because I'm not doing this by myself. Fuck all this shit. I'm gonna have to pick. I have to pick somebody from certain angles, man, to deal with that white troll shit. I have to find somebody that's gonna not compromise what the fuck we're doing. I'm so tired of this shit. It ain't even funny. I'm done talking. I'm just gonna do it. It's mad. We have to have a female to fix the shit, but not y'all. We need somebody strong. Deal with this shit. This is getting on my goddamn nerves, man. Like, that's why we need the extra blood. We want to have to deal with this shit, and then we gotta see who's trolling and monitoring and shit. Cause I can't do it by myself. I ain't got time for that. Cause I always want to fuck everybody's content. I see what they're doing, so I be looking, but I'm not wasting my breath on some bitch ass people. Like I'm just not. Some things you gotta say fuck them. You know what I mean? And the whole thing. I'm tired, man. I'm too old for that shit. In my 20s, I could have able to knock people's shit loose, but you can't do that on the internet nowadays. And I'm glad I'm saying this to y'all because I feel like the fuckery's got to stop. Like I'm gonna put a halt to that shit. I'm just gonna get an hour in. I'm tired of the bullshit for real because it's the same old shit that to deal with. So I done got mad in a way. So I'm slightly mad, but I'm all right inside. But it's just like I'm just shaking my head. This is ridiculous, man. But I knew someone's gonna piss me off, but not on this day. I don't let it sweat. But I say fuck that stream. That stream was a waste. I don't know what I was thinking, but I knew something was gonna happen. That's why I don't stream in the daytime. Cause shit like that happens all the time. So I study streams. You gotta understand, I study day streams. The trick with that is you gotta have a different topic. And I gotta change my about me section. I had to because motherfuckers just don't want to support you like that. That's why I need a real audience. I need somebody different. We need some new members. I don't want to deal with this shit. On Scout next week because I'm not streaming shit next year until next year after the next week after next year. I'm gonna take a week off and I'm gonna be like, I gotta look at the shit. I'm not gonna do no fucking vlog streams of that bullshit. I'm just tired of the bullshit, to be honest with you. Seriously, I'm fucking am because it's the same old bullshit that I deal with all the fucking time. That shit's gotta stop, man. Immediately, you gotta stop. Like, like motherfuckers need to just chill, man. Like, it's not even worth getting angry over. You know what I'm saying? Like these trolls, man. That just killed that killed the spirit. They always want to ruin every damn thing. But this pathetic ass website and these bitch ass policies, people don't like coming here more often. I see why people say fuck this whole site. And you see why people don't fuck with it no more. And it's already depleted. I was done with this since years ago when I lost my first channel. I never thought I was gonna do YouTube again. Then I realized I did it for a certain purpose. I chose this path. If I didn't choose this path, I would have stuck to entertainment and just kept it at that. That'd have been my thing. But no, you know, even if you try to talk positive, they strike your shit down. It's the same old shit. See, copyrights will never get me on. So I'm toning down other strikes. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, like you got a lot of bitch ass people on the internet. They ruin it for every fucking body. It's just I'm so tired. It's not even fucking funny anymore. Mm. Yeah, because some people gonna do their thing. I'm not judging. Just gotta look at it for what it is. Well, yeah, because I think when he did that, I knew who it was. And yeah, I don't fuck with trolls like that. That was just sending a message, and I see right through the shit. I know who it was, man. Once I got flagged, man, knew his weird ass was gonna do that. But we know what it was now. Now he ain't welcome no more. Fuck out of here. Get your weird ass off my shit. It's the same shit that I have to deal with every time. See, my channel's a relic for a reason. I don't be asking no weird questions about no like keep that bullshit to yourself. I know what you're trying to do, motherfucker. If I see you asking dumb questions, get the fuck off my panel. Seriously. I already got enough troll problems. See, like I said, reporting won't solve nothing. Blocking is the best way because this site is trash. I've studied this shit, bro. I've been here long enough to know. Fuck all of it. It's not gonna help you none at the end. You're just gonna have to manage your shit. If they change the rules next year, I would love to see it. But they're fucking up big time with this shit. It's about protecting us, to be honest with you. Doing another website won't solve nothing because niggas won't listen. They so slow and retarded and enamored with bullshit. You're gonna get tired of this shit. I'm so tired of the monkey shit. Really am. Really am. Yeah, man. Like it got struck for a reason. And I'm just like, yeah, man. Got a lot of bitch ass people on the internet. I swear they just don't make it easy for a nigga like me. That's why I say fuck it all. Yeah. Yeah, I don't pay moderates. I don't care. I'm pissed. I need some real people. Like, I want to start scouting next year. I need some to combat bitch ass people on the internet. Period. That's my problem. That's gonna solve everything. But tonight, I don't even give a shit. I'm kind of pissed off in a way. Like, I'm so irritated. It's not even funny, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm so tired of this shit. It ain't even funny, man. I'm just tired of the fuck shit. And what they do is they fuck up your momentum. And that's the problem with people. They fuck up everything that you touch. Man, I'm tired, man. I'm so tired. I'm so tired it ain't even funny, man. It's annoying, but you know what I'm saying? What's going on, Queen? Yeah, I'm tired of the bullshit now. Yeah, it's crazy. That's why I say fuck all of it. I'm good. Next year, I need a real audience bad. Cause this shit's gotta stop. Because when you get these algorithm trolls, and I had to change certain things, what I say on my channel, and I don't like to draw 'em, it happens. You get a lot of trash. So I say I have to disagree with Complex on that. He don't know what the fuck he's talking about when it comes to algorithm. Fuck the algorithm. That's the fucking problem. You got a lot of agents in the goddamn space. And it's bullshit. Long as I've been on here, it's been a problem. They need real moderators. People behind the screens that know how to tweak this shit. They got hackers to count that shit, white hats to clean this shit up. It's not that fucking hard, people. It's not that hard. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, that's the problem. And the reason I have an issue with it, it's just the number one reason why it won't last as long is because you got a lot of people doing the same type of content. But I'm just saying, like, what's the point of having um doing live streams like this and then people try to flag your shit for no reason? It's a good channels and shit, but sometimes the policies gets ridiculous. Like they don't know which is what, and they don't give you an instruction manual and shit like that. That's why I say I was done with the whole thing because I realized that when you do these type of content, I just give up on people. You know what I mean? Because the whole website is tarnished. Like I tried for years to understand. The live stream is probably one of the worst things I've seen people done. It's okay to have them, but this type of format is kind of difficult because you got a lot of stupid people fucking up your shit. So you're taking a risk on your channel. So I can get away with it based off re-uploading and things like that. And some people want to private the shit. You know, I could have privated. Yeah, I could have did that. Sometimes I don't like private my shit. That's the problem with me. Um, it's fucked up, but but you live and you learn. But some things you just gotta say fuck it. Because I'm not trying to be angry long term. Like that's not who I am. I try that shit. So yeah, man. But like I said, man, like I'm good. Just need some new blood, to be honest with you. Cause what I'm seeing now is like I won't have to be strict. Like I'm tired of being, by myself. Like it's cool. I can do it, but I don't like the bullshit that comes behind it. See, I need a team. I need somebody that can so I can help push content wise. Cause that's the only way I'm gonna get y'all to the next level. Cause I can't be dealing with this all year. Cause next year I'm gonna make a standard. Like, look, come with some content, please. Not in the mood next year. I'm tired of bitch ass people, period. I just dealt with two of them and some trolls, and it's not making my platform looking so good. I have to cut people down, man. And I gotta make some changes. A lot of bitch ass people on the internet. I'm so tired, man. I'm getting too old for this shit. What's going on, degenerate? That's why I'm done with this shit in the future. I'll do it again next year, but if I ever decide to get a new channel or whatever, this one I'm gonna keep under wraps. This site don't go anywhere. I'm just gonna treat this channel what it is. If I want a paid monetized channel, well, it's gonna be a little different. As long as I have this fucking computer, I'll be all right. Some bullshit, man. That's why I need a studio bad. I don't have to deal with this shit. I'll invest in it. I stopped caring, man. They fix their fucking policies or wherever it's coming. Shots out to Dre for that information. I can't wait till they see what they're gonna do. I'm not gonna argue with people next year. Next year, I'm gonna take a week off. Let me check my calendar. Cause motherfuckers is retarded. I'm gonna find some people, try a different platform, and then try to, if they have a YouTube page, I can mess with them. Because this shit right here is not gonna work long term wise. I'm seeing what my future is. Like, I'm tired of the bullshit. Cause I know I got 3 streams. I got one tomorrow, that Wednesday and Thursday. I'm good for the end of the year. Fuck New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. I'll tell you that right now. I don't care about that shit. I ain't gonna be streaming that Sunday either. I'm gonna take a break from that shit. I'll probably come back on the 2nd of January. Not 2nd of January, my fault. I won't be streaming that. Oh, okay. I'll stream on the 26th, my fault. I won't be streaming on that 2nd, I think, for Nave. I'll come back on the 9th. Yeah, I might have to come back on the 9th. I'm gonna start doing that now. And then start off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm tired of the bullshit. And kick my Sunday madness off. I'm gonna take a long, hard break. Just the whole week. Might have to be a panelist. I might have to go on panels and shit. Start talking to people. Let my shit grow. I'm saying. Yeah. January is gonna be a mess. We're gonna see. Because a lot of times when you have people, it comes right through. You know what I'm saying? And that's the whole point. But yeah, it's like a whole community and things like that when people subscribe and all that. But yeah, man, like a lot of times you got to take that risk. And one thing I can say, I let me tell you something. I enjoyed this year doing streams. Period. It's just the fuck shit that's gonna come with it. But I don't know what channel I'm going to create. Because if I get a studio, if I get an extra computer, yes, I'm gonna create another account and have like a little small podcast or whatever. I'm thinking about it, but this one is just gonna be a channel just for real shit, real talks, solutions, all that. This is like a solutions channel. Um, Subject based, evergreen here all day. But the other one's gonna be I don't want it for entertainment. It's too much entertainment on YouTube. I disagree. Entertainment is less. Someone said it's less entertainment on here, and it's about marketing. I kind of disagree with that. I agree with it in a marketing sense. That's how females say it, but I kind of disagree because it's actually entertainment. That's the problem. It's actually both. Marketing is entertainment, but when you're dealing with real shit, it's like 5 to 10%. But when you're dealing with marketing, that's still part of entertainment. I don't care what nobody says. I've seen it too many times. People come and go. They said, "Fuck it, I don't want to do this no more." See, you notice I didn't quit even when they struck me. I said fuck the whole site, and I'm looking at my future right now, and I'm not even thinking about the next day because I'm gonna be I don't have a blast with this content I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna start roasting people on Sunday Madness. I'm gonna start doing it, throwing shots, and see people coming through and talking about things. But that stream, man, that's why I had to fuck it up. But you know how it happens. When you do too good, someone's gotta, it's that community. I'm working behind the scenes, get rid of motherfuckers off that. So yeah, man. I'll say, yep, I'm good. So we're gonna be fine. We will stream to tomorrow. It's gonna be at 2:40 something in the afternoon. Something like that. I gotta check my schedule because I don't know what the schedule is gonna be. Because sometimes when you look at your schedule, I'll try other streaming apps. I think I said this too. And damn, I deleted that stream because I really wanted to go in. I think it's 2:40 tomorrow. Okay. So we're gonna be good. So we're gonna talk about totalitarianism on that Wednesday. Thursday Thrills 14. It'll be the 14th edition. And that's it. This is like a redo stream from the after stream of Juan G's. And I believe he had a hell of a stream last night and early this morning. I was on there and I nod off and I was just like, yeah. You could say that, but it's a white troll. Apparently I banned him from this shit. I know what crew he's hanging with. I'm trying to combat that shit. And it ain't easy because I ain't got no support. I do get support, but I don't get enough support. I need another arm, I would say. I have fucking issues over this site. I need a balance to combat that. Somebody that know about that fucking community. Cause I'm tired of that shit. I would love to tell people unsubscribe, but I don't want to do that. Apparently someone did, but thank God, I already know what my schedule's gonna look like next year. I'll come back on the 9th, probably come back on that Wednesday and that Thursday. Yeah, I'm taking that whole January week off from the 2nd to the 8th because I don't give a fuck anymore. I just got to restructure my shit and I'll be all right. That's just me. That's just me. I need it because I can heal. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what next year's going to be like. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't give a fuck anymore. I'll stream whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to tell y'all, just get y'all heads up. If y'all don't see me stream during the week, you're going to see less of me of that first week of January because I'll come back on the 9th. On the 9th, I'm going to do something about it because I feel like when you have people that's on that bullshit, you know what time it is. And I'm just let me tell you something. I'm just not mad at all. I'm just telling it like it is. Most people they just don't give a fuck. And I think, it's good to have a different audience and I'll be all right. Yeah, I'm doing my thing. But yeah, man, like if I see what's what, yeah, I'm just gonna have to peruse around next year because what I'm looking at it right now is the audience is good, but I'm gonna say it like this: I need a bigger one so I can say what do I need to do to just go around. I don't have to promote my shit without even begging. I can do that, so I might have to do something. Third and what you call it, Topaz is off. Might have to do special pre-records, not for that week, but I might have to drop some in the chamber. I have to drop some in the chamber because this is getting out of hand. Because I don't know if I want to drop some Saturday. I think I'm going to drop some at midnight. Yeah, and then start streaming. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta I gotta rethink because I'll do it. Don't get me wrong, but I just gotta get my mind clear. Because number one, on trying to see if I'm gonna do this long term, but I have to see because this site is getting on my nerves for one. I'm looking at it for what it is. So eventually, I'll be here. It's just I just gotta look at things from a different perspective. Cause you got a lot of motherfuckers just be on some weird shit. Yeah, because next year I don't really care at this point. It's up for grabs. I see what people are doing. We gotta talk about that shit. So yeah, I know people that don't care. What's going on, Mace? Salute. Yeah. I might do something in the future because next year it's gonna be a hassle. Because I already know what policies they're gonna look at. And so yeah, YouTube is on some shit, man. Or Google or one. I'll say Google and then YouTube. I'm not trying to argue. You got dudes like the man streaming. He need to go on and do his streams. Seriously. With all this bullshit. Ain't got time for that. What? Somebody had to ruin that stream for us. So you know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Hey, hold on a second.
You there? What's going on? Hey, what's going on? All right.
No, I'm good, dude. Just hang on. I gotta take care of something. Be right back.
All right. TC Killer. It's a while. Yeah, it's a while. Yeah, yeah. It was a troll that struck me, but that's okay. But it's all gonna get me focused for tomorrow. Yeah, man. I don't even want to talk about that troll, man. It's not even worth it. I might have to dust that off air. Cause that shit is retarded. But that's cool. I'm just gonna explain the situation. I'm gonna move different. Got to on the internet because the way they move, man, I'm just like, you know what? I'm good because I want to be hit that hard with that copyright strike. I said, oh hell no. I already know what those is coming. It's a good stream. Damn.
It's good. What's up,
Not
man?
man.
What happened?
Troll struck my shit. It was a good stream, but I know who did it.
The one we had earlier?
Yeah, yeah. But it's all good.
Somebody.
It's all good. It happens. It happens. This ain't the first time. Like this is. I get these every now and then. It's been like 9 years since I've had. Like this is my second time. So yeah, I'm good. So I already know. I already knew the intentions was. But see, I think when Dre had a conversation, I'm glad I didn't want to see that replay of that shit. It's not even worth keeping. Yeah, because I'm not
I
gonna
thought.
argue.
Well, at least it wasn't something I did. That's a good thing. At
Nah,
least.
it's a troll. Like I saw the name and everything. Like, nah, I'm not gonna argue with them because that's just an excuse to try to. Nah, I don't want to play that game. I already know what they trying to do. Because when you deal with stuff like that, and I saw a claim, I say, ain't no copyright on this. That was Drake's video. And I said, wait a minute, that was an excuse to hit me. Then I saw a user I ain't never heard before, so I had to be a troll. So it happens. It happens. Because every now and then you're gonna get those. So I expect that, but I'm not gonna repeal that the way they have the system locked up. I'm like, nah, I'm not. I'm not gonna fight for that. That's not worried about that.
I've seen something like this happen. Like it was like a few years ago on a certain channel. They talked about those community strikes and how they're open to abuse and how sometimes when you do that, certain groups put you in a position where you have to, when you try to challenge it, you have to give the YouTube your information, right?
Yeah.
And you end up self-doxing yourself in the process. And like certain extremist groups, they use that just to locate. Like say you're like talking about certain sensitive information, and certain entities are not happy with the fact you do that, so they'll try to claim copyright strikes or whatnot.
Yeah.
And then when you try to challenge it, they get that information, and they take that information and they try to show up at your place of residence and try to threaten you or some shit like that, or even worse.
Yeah, and that shit, but that ain't gonna happen because I I scrubbed it, but the thing was it's not even worth it. But he was a typical troll. Like he's lived in another country, so he's wasting his time. But yeah, but see, you know what's happening to them? They're being watched too by the feds. I mean, shouts out DeAndre. Like when he's giving that sensitive information, that's oh shit, that's that algorithm shit. That's one of these algorithm trolls. I've seen this too. It's getting worse. So and they come frequently.
What the hell?
Yeah, man.
I mean,
I don't bother nobody, but that happens like when you emerge this one big group, not just the red pill spaces, but all spaces. But what I've noticed, and he's right. Like, yeah, people are moving different, but I'm looking at it now. I'm not surprised because I knew this was going to happen in the daytime because normally in the daytime you don't get this a lot. And I said, I see the pattern. I had to change my about me section. I said, you know what? Let me get this out of the about me section. I had to change it to something else, and I did the right thing. So apparently he's not coming through. Thank goodness, because normally it's in the afternoon. So it's always somewhere around in the morning, afternoon when they like to troll. But I know what
isn't it possible you could like have him blocked or banned from your
he's
your
banned.
stuff?
He's banned. Yeah, he's banned. He's banned. He ain't coming back. Yeah, so I know he had to unsubscribe because they do that sometimes. See, trolls got a unique way. They'll subscribe to shit. They try to watch you. They don't even try to want your information.
Several accounts, in fact. They'll even have several accounts to do that. Copy accounts.
All that stuff.
And they'll have the fake accounts just to boost up their numbers.
Yeah, and I block all their fake accounts, and that still ain't gonna work. They can try all they want. It's just like
it's times like this. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
And it's just like I laugh when they try to do that stuff. Like I've done this before when I did pre-records. Like this right here just lets me know how weak people are, and I don't waste my energy on it because I know I'm smiling inside because I'm glad I'm getting this attention. Because once you're in the algorithm, man, you got to fight a lot of trolls to get through, and eventually trolls will stop if you have a decent audience. But eventually, I'm not focusing on that. But it takes time, man. Like I tell people, this is not easy because some people got to deal with that. Now the big YouTubers, they deal with a lot of trolls.
My question is, does it pay to be in a relationship with a hacker?
Shit, they get paid big time, but I don't want to deal with them because they being
No, I
watched.
mean, no. Like, say I was in a relationship with somebody who's an ethical hacker, not a black hat, but a white hat.
Ah, security, huh?
The ones,
Mhm.
yeah, the ones who are hired to hack into security systems to see where the flaws are.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Oh
Because
yeah,
those the guys who are involved in cybersecurity, those who are in cybersecurity,
they
imagine if
usually.
you were dating somebody who was if you were in a relationship with somebody like that, and they'd be like, "I got you, I got you, babe, I got you." Or sorry, in your case, "I got you, babe, I got you. Let me deal with this motherfucker right."
Oh yeah, see, I don't have nobody like that. They'll clean up viruses, ransomware. What else they clean up? Deal with trolls. They deal with
Trojans, worms.
chosen worms, all that. They do a lot of stuff. And then some of them work at these antivirus companies. They have white hats. They're security as well. The Norton. They post a list of
Norton
all
Antivirus,
the hat. Yeah,
McAfee,
all that.
Kaspersky.
They have a
We
list
got
of
one. We have one in Finland called F4 Force.
yeah. They have a list of all the hats. I was like, okay. And I was researching on Norton. I was like, damn, y'all know all this stuff. I said, yeah, that's their little thing. But the black hats, he said, one of them trying to say, just stay away from those. That's the ones the
The
news
black
be
hats are the
talking about.
criminal hackers.
Yeah,
I got a couple of cousins who were involved in cybersecurity.
yeah,
One is like, he's like what they call, they're both white hats, but one is what they call red team. That's the team that's responsible for like trying to hack into systems. And then and Mike V explained this concept to me. Blue teams, that's the guys who patch up the holes. And the red teams are guys who have to like find the holes in any company's cybersecurity. So it's kind of interesting because I know Mike V's involved that. You know what Mike V is, right?
yeah. He's involved in that. He tells me all the
Yeah.
time.
Mhm.
In his profession, see, his stuff is believable. It's just,
Oh yeah.
I told him like, man, if you do content like this, you got to be very careful. And then sometimes they just want attention. A lot of trolls just want attention. I've noticed that all trolls ain't the same. And what I've noticed about this dude that had the weed and stuff like that, and Dre Woman, yeah, he's coming from another community. And it also got to study other community. I don't mess with them,
Disruptor.
and that's what they are. See what it is? It's a jealousy thing. They fight over views, and I ain't here for that. Everybody's getting a shared amount of views. People watch this shit on the replay, saying and
Yeah.
ain't that serious. And some people
And
do that. Some people do that.
I mean, I've noticed that like a lot of there's certain channels because they have to worry about that stuff, doxing, flagging
Yeah,
videos that they decided to like relocate to other sites like Mevo. Others went to minds.com. We don't have to deal with that kind of nonsense because
yeah,
trolling is not tolerated there. Although it's a free space, they understand that you gotta protect yourself. And Minds, I'm sure their administrations make sure that trolling and online harassment is brought to a minimum.
yeah,
It's a place. It's not a safe. It's not like technically a safe space. It's what it was. It's just what Facebook was meant to be. Only they
yeah,
made sure that you don't have the same BS. And now, does this sound like a shameless plug for Minds? No, not exactly. Yeah, I'm just telling it like it is.
yeah.
Just like what is it like hang on, just like there's like two apps. Like instead of Google, you can always use other things like Brave. I use DuckDuckGo, but there's another one called QWant.
Yeah,
QWANT. Some people just use that stuff instead because it's a more accurate, more honest algorithm and such. Because you never know what's going on with Google's algorithm.
oh, they got troll problems. I do know that they do have hacker problems, and the doxing is hurting them too. I think the government's cracking down on it because you got a lot of trolls on the whole site, really, and especially YouTube. They're trying to scrub them. Here's the problem: you got agents that don't want to do the work. So it's going to be a lot of changes next year, and that's why I'm trying to be very careful about certain information, and even with the COVID thing, like I tell
And
people,
bot
just be
accounts
careful.
too. That's a
Yeah,
problem
bot
as well.
accounts, it's the bots, and I've seen a lot of bots lately in the chat. They know what's going on. The thing is, it's I tell you that fucking legislative and administration. That's the fucking problem too. They're fighting this shit too. So it's like they got to deal with Biden and them, and then we got to deal with our military. because they all use YouTube. See, YouTube is huge because not only that, the military's got to get involved
YouTube,
in all that
Facebook.
stuff. That's why Dre. That's why Dre's being quiet. Because he know what's going on. He got some little contract. Him and Cerulean. Like, I don't want to get involved in no sting up and things like that. You know, they told me, they said, you're good. It's just you got to deal with a lot of trolls for the next month or the next year because they're gonna scrub certain ones that's not participating in content. That's what they're looking at. If you don't do content, you're out of there. And I try to tell people you
I don't do
cannot.
content.
Yeah, no, you good. You just balanced. But I'm just saying the ones that they do content, but they're not actually helping. You know, people like some things. I think YouTube wants a. What we're doing is, yeah, we're helping people from this, but most people that do the fuckery and stuff, they're gonna disappear, man. Like I try to tell you, you got to have a balance. You can't just have one side. The next thing you know, if you built your channel off of, I won't say trolling, but like extreme trolling, like doxing, oh, you're done because they're already attacking the what you call it, the beef sector, and it's like, hey, it's too much. So they're watching your ass right now. So it's just like the people in the video game community. It's in the same category. Then that's what they act like to me. And you know what's gonna happen to them?
You mean like swatting?
Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah, they're gonna be out of there, man. Like they're not playing, man. They're trying to. All right, you gonna get the gears.
Imagine what could happen with Twitch. With Twitch stream, if they put stiffer, you know, if they put up, you know.
Yeah. I mean, it's still, you can still stream. They just don't want you to be crazy, but they ain't gonna like it because you gotta understand, if Google does it first, Twitch changes. Like I said, I already know the censorship is coming. You cannot harm people's information. It's gonna be a society that you want on the internet. You know how you in public spaces in real life, like when you're walking and people trying to rob and stuff, it's gonna be like that. You know, they're gonna make sure, are you a criminal or not? Are you trying to rob a bank?
Or not
That's
harassing.
basically, yeah. They trying to make it like that, man. And I see it coming. I knew this years ago, and I said I knew they was gonna do something like this. I'm not mad, and shouts out to certain people in the brain trust saying that, like, yeah, they're not playing with you, man.
Well, but here's my question. Here's my question. With CC cameras, if they were going to have CC cameras all over the place, would you rather have it like they have it in China or like how they have it in the UK?
In China sense, I wouldn't, but I understand why, because you do have defectors that's going against the government. But the UK, I wouldn't even trust. I mean, neither side is good, but I would take my chances. But the UK is a lot worse. It's kind of like us in a way. And the sad part, I hate to say it, this shit don't work. You still got hackers. So that's the problem. And then here's the thing, you get trolls. Do you want a lot of trolls? No. China, they ain't gonna let you have a lot of trolls.
No, when you said about people, when you said the analogy about walking down the street, I mean, you know, you got CC
I'm
cameras
just saying, like the police, like we already got it in certain US states like New York and California. Why not? But in the South, knowing us, no, we don't need that. We need our guns and our little drones flying there to protect us, you know, weaponry. And see, that's our problem, you know, because we're so divided with things like this. Because, well, if Google, YouTube say, hey, you protect your information, you choose to get, you know, sometimes they don't care. That shit should change, man. Like, you need some security. Now, I ain't saying it's perfect, but I'm just saying, like, you won't have enough trolls to think about it, because they'll have to troll somewhere else. Because why this site? Because I know this site is already mainstream, because I already see the potential. I tell people, look, if you're gonna do content, just do content and you be all right. Just don't do the trolling shit. That shit is dead. That shit died in 2012. When I first came on YouTube and
I
with
remember
my old channel, them days was fun. You can't do that now because people when they started doxing, man.
Oh, it got out of
over,
control, man. With the doxing and the flagging and everything.
All that shit.
That's why I mean, like, what's his name? Tommy Sotomayor. He had a lot of that shit happen to him. He had like several channels shut down in the process.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily support the guy. I'm just stating the facts here, folks.
Yeah, that's true.
And but he kept coming back one way or another, you know.
His persona. He picked a lane that he needed, and most people got to understand, you got to do that. Like, look, YouTube is forcing certain people. You better do that. See, I'm already got my own lane. They know I'm good. It's just certain individuals just want to fuck with you. But that's gonna change.
Prime example of that, like like where I'm from, you got a lot of people in the diaspora. They come to they meet up and have certain discussions, like on something like Pal Talk and whatnot. Next thing you know, you got like people of certain political stripes, come together on those sites, right? The next thing you know, you got somebody from an opposing side comes down there just to disrupt things. Next thing you know, that you got somebody just doxing somebody's information, and they're gonna get They get threatening letters or emails or whatnot, or their families would get threatened by some shit like that. I remember, I got involved on a Facebook. There was a discussion board I got involved in. Next thing you know, I'm getting unwanted attention from certain people who I knew who they're patrolling your shit.
Yeah.
Only thing I could do was report them and add them to my block list so they wouldn't find me. Because I didn't realize what they were doing until I realized when they started contacting me personally. They just reach out to me personally, and that's when I had to put in those like you have you have search restrictions you can put on Facebook, so you can decide whether let everybody try to find you or certain people find you. I mean, I had to change my name and everything. I can't use my real name.
Yeah.
So I had to, and this is 2012. So
yeah, that happened to me with my old channel. I got flagged in a sting off. I had to change my username because it was related to my actual name, so I had to change that. It wasn't really doxing; it was just like an exposure. I would say like that. It's a combination of that, but it was
that too.
yeah.
So
It's the
because
sad part. That's the sad part, and I had to get rid of it. And thank God I switched the email, and that was a big change, a big leap. And after that, I said, you know what, I had to create this code name. So did what Cerulean did a long time ago. So we did the same thing. Like, yeah, it's fucked up, and I'm glad I understand how to combat it. And it's so easy to do because you got to learn the system and things like that. Because most people they get caught up in the wrong things, but you got to move different.
Fortunately, I'd seen enough watched enough news reports about cyberbullying to realize that's what it was for me. Because hang on a second.
Yeah. But what was he talking about? Okay. Not trying to make the certain political ideology anything, but I'm trying to say really started with their for so-called social justice get out of the hand in the yeah, you can say that, but I would say 2012. That's where it really started. That smartphone shit killed it for me. I didn't see it coming. I'm glad I got this. This is technically my second channel. I ain't trying to lose this one because I'm thinking about creating another channel, but this one I'm gonna keep for subject matter based. But it's just something to look at because I'm browsing how they stream different, how they have protection and things like that. Because once you get certain numbers and people start coming through, I have a channel, but if you get another channel and then I ain't trying to risk it, especially this one because the stuff I say, some people don't really care as much as long as you don't piss off a certain group. Because some people are emotional. Like I've noticed certain trolls, they don't type in the chat. I said, no, he's sky trolling then. You got some that do the super chat. I'm like, the fuck?
You got hey, at least they're paying, so fuck it.
But you know what's so funny?
What I do know,
I was like, yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, when I saw how Angry Man gets trolled with the super chat, but yeah, you may have the members only. They still gonna troll you with the super chat, and you still time them out. I'm like, wow. I looked at that
the paywall. Or
yeah,
the paywall.
Yeah,
that's a good way to protect it because I remember BGS has done a few things like that, like the paywall. What's his name? Cousin Tito? Not Cousin Tito. What's his name? One brother. He did the same thing. Tito, I think it's Tito Black, something like that. We got his name, but he would like some of the things that really got people triggered. He would put that behind a paywall for protection.
Yeah.
And Charles, of course, what he does is like, when he has the streams, he always has like, you get some of us, some of the certain people he trusts, the wrench, and we mod the chat. So if anybody's acting a fool, we just put a stop to it, especially Bruce Almighty. That's his
Oh,
Arn
he's
Anderson right
good.
there.
Yeah,
He's the Arn
he's
Anderson. He's
good.
the Arn Anderson to Charles Ric Flair.
Yeah.
I guess that makes me. Well, I always want to be the Chris Benoit, but then again, I sometimes I come off like Flying Brian Pillman, the loose cannon.
Yeah.
That is what it is. But yeah, but you cannot eliminate trolls completely. They're always going to find a way to get into these things
Yeah. And
because
I
they're
noticed
constantly
that
for
years ago.
evolution.
I understand that years ago, and I realized they've gotten smarter and smarter. And what I've noticed on certain streams, they skywatch and troll. They'll hit the link if it's, I don't care if it's hidden or whatever. Man, and I saw a woman did it too. I was like, wow, that's some crazy ass shit. But that just lets you know that this younger generation, when they troll, they're gonna act crazy. Watch, but it's gonna be very hard because they're gonna put some restrictions on that. Yeah, y'all can try, unless you know how to bounce around links. It's gonna come a point they're gonna say, put this in a certain description box, and they won't find it. Be like, oh shit. I'm like, yeah,
That's why
yeah, man,
everybody's got to be tech savvy, know how everything works, and understand the safety precautions that are available to you when you're on these sites, so you can safely
yeah.
search and browse these things.
Greetings,
Not to
Scotty
mention
Jane.
VPNs. Also, VPNs can also be helpful. I think I'm not sure about it in YouTube though. But
Nah, I don't think
have you ever
not
watched?
so much.
Have you ever checked out the Social Dilemma documentary on Netflix?
I haven't, but I heard about it. They said it's pretty good.
Mrs. Z was like emphasizing, was telling me about that. I checked that out. I also checked out another one about hang on, what was it called? It was a documentary about certain technology and the built-in racial bias in it. And another one I remember watching was something called Terms and Conditions. Talks about the whole issue about like the terms and conditions you see when you try to sign up to anything online, like a Google account or Facebook account, the terms and conditions, and the mumbo jumbo is meant to leave you confused. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So just watch it. I saw those documentaries and just like really, a lot of it I already knew, but there was plenty that I didn't know, and just opened my eyes like, wow, okay. So I got to carefully read the terms and conditions, but they try to overwhelm you by the number of pages and the sections in it, and sometimes it's meant to be confusing. You think they'd be simplifying that shit, but no, they do that purpose. They put it in the wording. The wording it is just to avoid certain snags and legal problems.
yeah,
And they bank in on the fact that people don't read the terms and conditions. That's why they have them. They have them that big. You also see the same thing with certain games when you play certain video games. When you like play when it says you got to log into an account like EA or whatnot, they're always going to have like
yeah.
terms and conditions, and you
I
got to
think
read
they
them.
have, and I think they do it a lot of sandbox games or open world games like the Saints Row
Mm-hmm.
and Grand Theft Auto. Epilepsy, seizures and shit. And they always trying to ask you those questions. I said, no, I don't have. I just say no. But did you accept the terms and conditions? I said, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I'm good.
Oh,
I'm
photo
over.
epilepsy.
Yeah,
I've heard of
all
that.
that. Yeah, because some
I
people have
mean,
seizures when they play those games. I didn't know if that was true. I did
uh,
some research and I said, okay. Some
oh,
people say,
you ever heard of Michelle Cello?
I haven't heard of it, but I'm familiar with the name, but yeah.
Okay, since you brought up, epileptic seizures, she suffers from photo epilepsy.
Wow.
So, yeah, so and when she performs, the lights have to be turned down low. So, of course, the music she plays is kind of mellow, so it's just it's low, but it's like really sexy kind of stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
sexy vibe to it. So the music is so the lights have to be turned down low when she performs, and usually she closes her eyes when she's like on the mic,
Yeah.
because usually she could have like flash photography could trigger like can trigger an epileptic seizure and whatnot to her. So bright lights, solid colors, they just give her a hard time. That's why That's why I usually should be wearing like certain sunglasses and things like that when she's on stage, or the lights have to be dimmed down and she has to close her eyes when she's on the mic. So that
Yeah.
photoepilepsy is no joke. Photo or light sensitive epilepsy is no joke. Like I watched a documentary of somebody suffering from narcolepsy. Now that was scary.
Yeah.
At certain moments, like if you made it like this individual, if he saw something that made him laugh, he would immediately black out. At
Yeah.
some points, there were times where like he'd be walking his dog, and then next thing you know, he just collapsed on the ground because he went through a blackout seizure. He hurt and got a concussion in the process or some shit like that. So it's no joke. But yeah, that epilepsy shit is for real. Oh, I just remember something. Read an article about this. This happened to somebody. Apparently he's Jewish, and what happened was a bunch of neo-Nazis. What they did was they started trolling this guy on Twitter by flooding his Twitter wall with a certain image. And next thing you know, he ended up having an epileptic seizure because of that shit. Because somehow they found that he had photoepilepsy. They started having, their followers just harass him by trolling him by saying those pics and whatnot. Next thing you know, he started suffering. He ended up having a, photoepileptic seizure because of the image that he's getting bombarded with on his Twitter account.
Yeah.
So that's some sick shit. Talk about, higher level trolling and shit. Just like, with young teenagers, they like troll somebody, they'd be trolling other teenagers, driving them to suicide and shit. Think about that.
Yeah, it's wild like that. It's gotten worse now for the last couple of years.
Yeah, I
people
mean, a
have
lot of
those
them would
seizures.
have lived. I mean, like the suicide shit. A lot of them, they're like around your age. They would have been lived there if they lived. They would have been around around your age and shit. You're
Yeah.
talking about people born like in the late '80s, early '90s. Those millennials who are hypersensitive, and they
Very
didn't know how to
sensitive.
deal with, and didn't
You
know how to
see,
deal with
I
social media.
survived. See, I was more refined with computers back then when I was younger. That's probably the only difference. These people didn't know the difference between what is reality and what's not. And a lot of them take this shit way too seriously. Like they fault it. And it was someone who was born in 89, or 90 that could have been alive in their 30s. But I'm saying like most people or are a couple years older than me, but I'm just saying half of that stock then damn near died. Like I try to tell you, back then it was tough. It was tough.
Teen suicides. I mean,
yeah.
Our generations had to deal with teen suicide. I remember those around my age, are no longer with us because of that shit. That suicide shit was just no joke. I mean,
It's
whether
no
it was
joke.
on Facebook, Twitter, for the cyberbullying, or it was some personal shit that was going on, or mental illness in some cases.
Yeah.
It was just, it was just that depressing at times, but yeah, I mean, there's this series on Netflix called 13 Reasons. I was talking about, but most of those kids are like Gen Z, but they talk about like, I think they're Gen Z. Yeah, they're Gen Z, Generation Z. And they're dealing with things like, that millennials were dealing with before, like teen suicide and everything, and cyberbullying and everything, and trolling and the works. And you realize, the mindset of a teenager at that time, how they're just, trying to find their way around the world, but everything's so fucking confusing for them. And like you said, you were tech savvy, but also how many parents are really involved in their child's life or trying to make sure to protect their kids or teach them how to protect themselves while being online? Nobody does, especially now with all the new stuff, all these apps that's coming out and everything.
Yeah, that's another thing. The apps done fuck their heads up. And I never dealt with that problem. Like
apps.
Yeah, that's a whole nother beast on that, because I ain't gonna get into that, because what they're dealing with, once you put the technology in their hand when they're young. So I never had that
Mhm.
at a small age. Oh, it's over. They're practically an adult, and I agree with Kuda was saying that. That's true. Yeah, that's because their parents were weak. Like my parents were a lot strong back then. The computers back then was not as great. That's the difference.
Mhm.
That's why we was able to adapt before the
Back then,
Android
it was
era.
dial up. It was all
Yeah.
dial up.
I mean,
Yeah.
that varies, but like I said, back then when we were growing around 80s time, that when computers were a little bit still not 4 button unless you go to school, that you don't really get.
Late 90s. Not that many people had home PCs. It was like in the 2000s when everybody started getting home
I
PCs,
mean,
man.
late 2000s. Damn, you on point to Wolf, because that's what I remember the
Late
time.
90s, early 2000s. Late 90s, early 2000s.
Okay.
At that time, most people were still on dial up.
Well, if you think about it, it was still running on 3G up until the 2000s. You get me? So
When did 3G start? When was 3G introduced?
It was running around the mid to late 90s. I got to double check. I remember this video that broke down the history of the speed of the internet from
because I don't recall.
4G came out in 2008, 2009, I believe. So
yeah, because the reason I asked this is because last time I checked, like the smartphones, they didn't start showing up until to the mid 2000s.
It's 2012. That's when it really started popping off.
Yeah,
I didn't see them growing.
iPhone was one of the first smartphones in 2007. You get me?
I'll be honest. The first mobile I had, I had like the first mobile I had was this like little Motorola, right?
I had a BlackBerry,
and there.
BlackBerry. I can say that. Yeah, I was.
Were you a Crackberry?
He said BlackBerry.
BlackBerry.
No. People who used BlackBerry were called Crackberries because how addicted those things were.
Yeah, because of the messaging. And I wouldn't look at it as a smartphone. That's just a messenger phone. It's kind of like probably one of the first business messenger phone. It's actually better than the pager. I hate to say that. Most people, I remember people went to high school carried those things. But originally, when we talk about smartphone, I'm talking about the internet. I'm talking about like the interface. When I saw that Android in 2000, when I had the Samsung Galaxy S3, oh, that shit was a whole nother beast. I get on every site like this, Twitter, whatever, and I was like, God damn, like, I ain't never seen nothing like having. I think Metro had it years ago too. I would say somewhere around
Metro,
PCS. I think they had one back in 08, 09. Yeah, it was a semi-smartphone era, but we talking about the whole smartphone in your hand, like 2012. That ruined everything.
Like that flip phone type shit.
Yeah, I had the flip phone, I had the socket, and that was it. But after that, when I had the actual touch screen, the sensor, that changed everything. Yeah.
First time I had a touchscreen phone was 2012. It was a Nokia N8.
Okay.
It was pretty cool. I also
Galaxy
had an N9.
That's
a notebook. That's a goddamn tablet right there. That's pre-tablet.
I kind of like my Galaxy back then. I had one good one until a bum stole that shit. I was fucking mad as hell, man.
This cocky little motherfucker here. Damn you, Chaos. Yo, let me ask you something, Chaos. Your BlackBerry, was it a bold or a curve?
If I can recall, it was a white BlackBerry. I forgot the name of the model. Did it flip up? Shit, I can't remember. How long I had that back in the
because BlackBerries was more for business people.
Yeah, but at the time, I think I was still in high school when I got that. I think was it my father?
What year was this?
I'm trying to remember now because I'm trying to remember when I got the BlackBerry. Now I think about it. Damn, you making me think good, but I gotta think good now. Damn, let me think back. Shit.
Stop messing with them shoes, nigga, as Mr. Z would say.
Yeah, but no, because when you think back on certain things you used to had owned back then, and said a big deal. When you think about saying it was like a business thing, and said if I got access to it, I said no one else said. I said, damn, I must have been somewhat special back then. But I think it was.
You must have. What were you, like a young entrepreneur in high school? Is that it?
No, man, I was a regular kid at school. Cause I needed a phone. Cause, like everybody had phones. I think my younger brother had one too. Same time. Yeah.
Shit, I remember. I remember my dad. When we had our first phone, when we had our first mobile phones, this is when they introduced it's cell phones into the country, right?
Mm-hmm.
This was originally meant for people who had landlines, and then they opened up for everybody else. But the problem was, it's a black hole. Only one telecom could work, and that's the state owned. So my dad got two cell phone subscriptions. One for him, and me and my younger brother, who were working at the time. They looked at the both of us and he put the SIM card in the phone, which was not out of it. It was still in its box.
Yep.
He gave us the SIM card. He gave us the box, and he said he already registered in his name. But he looked at it and said, "You two decide which one's going to have it." And I understood. And my brother was looking at me. He's like, "You take it." And I'm like, "Wow." And he said, "Because our parents and grandma trust you. If I have it, I know grandma and mom are going to be calling me every hour on the hour, wondering when I'll be home." Because where he was working on, they had him like working late nights and shit. So he didn't want that kind of hassle. So they had to have me have the phone. I was like, all right, cool. Plus, I usually called and let them know if something came up, I'd be coming home late, not to wait up. But but then again, where I was at, it was a rough time. It was like really dangerous time for a lot of people. You couldn't be out at home. You couldn't be out and about at night at certain times of the year. So it was a challenging time, but cybersecurity. But back then you didn't have to worry about cybersecurity or phone hacks. Speaking of which, besides Bluetooth, does anybody remember infrared?
I haven't. You might have to get me lay out what was infrared. I don't think I had that.
Let me ask anybody in the chat. Maybe I'm showing my age by asking that question, but does anybody remember? Yeah, you're right, Kylie Jane. She is a great artist. I mean, she.
Oh, here we go.
The truth of the matter is, like, I kind of had a crush on her. I'll admit it. I had a crush on Michelle Ndegeocello. And after seeing Chris Rock's good hair, I felt I was vindicated for liking chicks with shaved heads.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave it at that. But anyway, like, does anybody in the chat remember what infrared was besides Bluetooth?
You talking about infrared?
Yeah, infrared.
Oh wow.
There was Bluetooth and then there was infrared.
Yeah, I remember Bluetooth. And there's infrared. Okay.
First Bluetooth, first phone I had that had Bluetooth capability was like in 06, 07.
Oh yeah. It was popular around those times.
But the problem was, like, people were telling me, be careful when you use Bluetooth, because at that time, they were still the cybersecurity for phones wasn't what it used to be, wasn't what it is now. And you had to worry about things like, file sharing, especially from phone to phone, and fuck around, catch a virus or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, let me look up infrared. Let me find if I can find infrared.
Infrared lights.
But anyways, like I said, chaos. So when you think about certain things, when you think about things like this, the reason I asked if you know what model it was, if you have fond memories of those things, you'll remember it exactly to the very detail.
No, because most Blackberries, you think about it, they made many versions of Blackberry, and the Blackberry I recall, if I just type in Blackberries and if they give me a bunch of image, I could probably recognize the one I have. I think the one I probably might remember is the one that maybe the old man might have, possibly, because he still keeps one of those old-fashioned cell phones, for text only, for a business purpose. because that's what it was designed for, business. You know?
Yeah. A lot of people use them, I remember, but they became pretty popular.
Yeah. And if you think about it, just like MySpace or other social media sites during them time around 2000s, people were just like texting. So, if you didn't get in the habit of texting, besides a beeper, which not everybody used to own like that, I mean, it was sort of convenient to express yourself in under, let's say, 6-7 words, maybe. Like hello,
maybe.
Simple stuff, maybe long conversations. And, people don't like to type up lengthy conversations on the phone. I'm just saying, but it's a little different now. Now you see people, they write in paragraphs. I say, God damn, sometimes the paragraphs don't look structured well. I said, damn, you misspelled this word. This is a run-on sentence. Well, I can't say that. So.
Don't get ahead of yourself. Don't get full of yourself. Keep it humble, man.
I mean, I
would sing like like what's his name, Kendrick Lamar, but I don't want to do that little crazy voice. I can't be saying, please be humble. It sounds wrong. Mm-hmm. Sounds like a cartoon character.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Shit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's interesting. By the way, how'd you spend your Christmas so far?
I ate food. I helped.
What the hell?
But I did.
The way you went, you sound like you just come from a church choir or something.
Oh no! I didn't go to church.
The way you said you sound like you were humming it, yo.
Oh,
humming a yo.
Well.
That's crazy, man.
I didn't know we had a church choir director in our midst. God damn it! I know he's tech savvy, but I didn't know he was musically inclined.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave that alone.
Malik X, what's going on, brother?
Yeah.
Happy holidays.
All right, peace and blessings to the panel.
Peace and blessings, brother.
How
you been?
Same to y'all.
Mm.
I heard your conversation earlier about cell phones. Yeah, my latest one, I use prepaid because that's what I can afford. So I don't have to worry about a contract. So if I can't pay the bill, all I gotta do is let it lapse, and I have to reactivate it.
Oh, you mean the prepaid SIM?
Yeah, no, I have a prepaid Android, but it's a Samsung Galaxy A50. It was only the phone was only $200, which is basically economically reasonable for me instead of $800 or $1,000 for most of them phones.
In my case, given pricing, the way the price thing is here, what I do is I can go to like any convenience store or any supermarket. I can get a prepaid SIM on the cheap. And all I have to do is just register the cell number with my social security number, and it's all secure and everything. And then within an hour or so, I just it becomes active on my phone. I can put it on any phone that I own. It just worked naturally.
I got mine from Best Buy, of course. I was looking for a better phone, and I just had my number transferred and my contacts, everything transferred to this phone. They did it right there because I paid cash for it. They said that cool. Probably about maybe 15, 20 minutes or 30 minutes. It was all set. And also I switched the SIM card too.
Yeah, SIM card switching, you can always order. Yeah, I remember it's like, there's like, of course, business being the way it is, like certain telecoms that get merged and whatnot. That's another thing that changes, like that could affect your SIM card or subscription, or like the SIM card services, you get the cell phone provider services and whatnot.
Yeah,
I've seen like. Go ahead.
I said I'm on Verizon. I've been with Verizon for like years now.
That's cool. Hey, has anybody ever tried out Bing? Because I remember it was like a certain podcast they were like they would just have like commercial spots for Bing, which was like they just charge you for what you use.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I've heard it's cheap. Yeah, my mom's thinking about trying that.
Mm-hmm. Up here in Scandinavia, I remember there's a in the Nordic region, there's one telecom company. They're called Tele2, Tele, number 2. And in their commercials, they have a black sheep doing their spots, and the running gag is that this telecom is the black sheep of the telecommunications and whatnot, and they always pride at being cheap and affordable. But there have been other some so-called telecom providers who have been able to rival them. I mean, there's a bunch of them, and they provide and then they offer great deals on on a number of variety of services they have, whether it's cell phone internet coverage or number of minutes or cell phone rates. Or the one I use, they provide great phone rates for long distance calls and whatnot, where you can purchase certain minutes to call any country that you wish. So it's pretty, most telecoms, they know what who their core demographic is, and they cater to that and whatnot. So it's pretty interesting. How many of you guys who uses Sprint, I wonder, on y'all's end?
Oh, I use T-Mobile.
Yeah, I use Verizon. I was advised.
I heard of T-Mobile.
Yeah,
I've heard
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Sprint. I had a coworker, a friend who used Sprint, but I think Sprint has been merged with somebody else. But he said
It's merged with T-Mobile.
Yeah, so T-Mobile bought Sprint, but when Sprint was by itself, Sprint would it's like if you got to deal with it, a good bill deal, a good deal. You got unlimited data for probably pretty good. But I think it was the bill was at the time. I think it was maybe $50 or $60, something like that a month. It depends on what you wanted. Me, since I use prepaid, I pay $40 a month for a phone card. One thing is, I have limited data each month, and if I want more data, I gotta pay $20 extra for 3 gigabytes. But since I've been with Verizon, they've been giving me bonuses now. With my last purchase service, I got six extra gigabytes added to what I already have. So.
That's weird.
I
just have to.
Yeah.
I just pay for I have a prepaid cell phone, so my prepaid cell phone SIM cards. What I do is I just purchase once a month a certain amount for gigabytes. Let me say for a certain gigabytes, and that gigabyte lasts me for 30 days. And so I repurchase every now and then, and I stop, and I just keep building. And I always have I've got a whole lot of extra gigabytes of internet to use, but also phone credit as well. So whenever I need to make for certain phone calls, I always got myself covered. But it's affordable to an extent. I mean, the rates aren't that bad, but yeah, it works like that for me because that's the kind of service I need, because not everybody can have those monthly bill or programs. I mean, some of us can't afford it, or in some cases, say some people when they purchase the SIM card, they can have to purchase it with a phone, and so they got to pay monthly for the phone usage and everything on top of the cell phone monthly subscription. And sometimes those plans could have limited data along with unlimited data with unlimited minutes, but in the long run, it may not be viable for certain people. For others, it could be. Depends on the person. I mean, even some people, instead of going to their cable company for home internet, sometimes they ask their telecom providers to provide them with home internet. All they do is just give them a DSL kind of machine, put that in their home or in their cabins if they're if they're away from civilization, and it works for them. I mean, fortunately, some places I go to, they actually have good Wi-Fi. I just have to make sure that the antivirus on my tablet and my cell phone are good. I mean, like for example, like the train system here, as well as like for like the long distance bus services. They've got Wi-Fi onboard Wi-Fi, and that works pretty well, as long as you have an account with them. But yeah, am I talking too much?
No, we're just listening.
Yeah, we're listening.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just curious. What's it like stateside right now? Technologically wise.
Tech wise, it's decent. People have different services, especially down here in Georgia. Like
telecoms.
A lot of them use different things. I know most people use AT&T or Verizon and T-Mobile, but T-Mobile has its own store, like in certain stores in the suburbs and the outskirts and cities. Yeah, they be in these shopping centers and malls. Now your typical Verizon and AT&T and others, sure I say Sprint, they'll be in places like Best Buy and stuff like that. Now, if you go to Costco's, you see all of them. You see T-Mobile and everybody in the one, like different companies, like just for the contract and all that.
Yeah, there's a shopping center right near my house, and I've seen a T-Mobile store, and I've seen like other stores in the malls. I mean, it's not too many of them, like I said, because since T-Mobile bought Sprint, you see there's a Verizon store by my house, and there's a T-Mobile store a little further down the road. But tech wise, it's decent, but of course it's expensive. Like I say, the phones are expensive. If you want to buy the brand new top of line phone you see on the commercials, they're expensive. Yeah. I mean, I go into Best Buy sometimes just to look at the pretty displays. I look at the phones, I see that they're big and they're wide, and they're probably very fast because that they've gone 5G now. But the prices, god damn.
The 5G things, I just waited like at least a year or so because they just now rolled out 5G right now, right? It's only this year that they started rolling out the 5G technology stuff, right?
It's like a internet speed upgrade on the phone. So the phone's supposed to be like really, really fast, really, really good.
I wouldn't rush to get 5G just yet because the infrastructure may not be just ready for 5G. You might want to scale back maybe a year or so later.
No, I'm still on 4G, but the 5G is supposed to be out already because I've seen the commercials already. It's been released.
The 5G EE the 5G EE handheld devices, but I mean the infrastructure. For the cell towers and everything, I don't think they're ready for that because I remember the same thing happened here when they introduced 4G.
So even though the phone's out, the signal strength isn't there yet.
It wasn't completely installed in certain places, especially like in small and rural towns. Small towns and rural areas.
Most people in stateside use 4G. They ain't on 5G yet. You know how they
I'm
do.
on 4G. The thing is, why would you advertise and release 5G phones if the cell towers aren't ready for you or the signal isn't ready yet? That doesn't make sense.
It could be it's ready in certain areas, like in major cities, perhaps. But when you go out of places, sometimes you have to revert back to 4G or even 3G in some cases. That's the problem. That's why I don't rush to get I remember I didn't get a 4G phone until 2012. By then 4G was already available in the area. And that was a Sony Xperia I got, but it's just I don't rush into tech. I don't rush to get tech. I mean, even here,
I don't either. I only buy what I can afford. Like I said, this phone was $200. That was money I had saved up. I took out my savings. That's why I saved it up because it was reasonable. That's still a lot expensive, but it's reasonable to the phones that are like a little over $1,000 or $1,000 more. Or even the ones that are like maybe $800 or $900. I mean, that's $800 for a phone. That's ridiculous. But I mean, I had a coworker who paid for it though. But he also used his Sprint, but he was on a family plan. So, like I said, he made the money where he had the money. I said, see, I could probably get a phone like that. But like I said, I would have to use my tax return money just to get a phone like that. And even then, I don't think I would spend over $1,000 for a phone. I would probably get maybe a $700, $800 phone. maybe, you know, at the most. But what I bought was just fine.
Yeah, up here, like it's like, you know, I've seen that happen with certain people. They have to get like the latest phones and whatnot, and I'm asking, what's so good about this phone? This is why I have to. This is why I'm grateful. Like when I was a kid, I used to go to electronic stores with my dad, and he would always ask. When we'd always have like 20 questions asked, and asking the sales clerk about this, that, and the third, because I know they're trying to sell us some, but we had to look for ourselves. And when I got older, and as I got older, when I came here, fortunately, you know, I always go check the online store and check for the specifications on any devices I'm interested in. And then, you know, of course, afterwards, I head down to the local store, my local electronic chain. I go to that local store, but first I check the online website. Then I go down to that store, and usually sales clerks that I have a good rapport with, I go talk to them, ask them to give me some information and whatnot, some inside information. We talk about it. And if I'm happy with what I see, if not, I'll try something else. You know, you got to know what you're getting into. Yeah, because like I realize like anything I buy has to be a good investment. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, anything has got to be affordable. It's got to be something that's going to last you in the long run. Like right now, I got this tablet I'm using. It's starting to fail me already. I only had it for like 6 months now. It's already not working. It's like it's an Acer. It's not working that good. I got to go back and get it replaced. I'm probably sure that they might give me a good upgrade or something like that. Upgrade me to a better to another model or something like that. But you know,
yeah,
it is what it is. I mean, I still have the year-long warranty, so they might like cover me on that. They might cover me for that, compensate me or something. So,
yeah, that's good to know.
Yeah, most of the when you like buy electronic devices, they give you like a year or two warranty. So if something happens, they can get replaced and repaired.
Yeah,
and everything.
2-year warranty or a year warranty. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when I first got my cell phone, I had a problem with the screen, and fortunately I had the warranty. So when I went back, and they had a repair shop in the back, and I went there, got it fixed. Things worked. Unfortunately, I learned from my brother. Always have 2 cell phones.
Yeah.
So always have 2 cell phones, and if you got a phone with dual SIMs, that's great. Like,
yeah.
So there's always one number for that, or a backup number, and let them know, or just let everybody else know, hey, my phone's not going to be working right, so call me on the other one, or I just make sure that on that phone, all calls get diverted to this other number. Some people don't even know about that part of that part of their phones.
That's true. They can do that.
Nobody knows that sometimes. I mean, I did that. They don't. Because I remember when I first came here, I saw a lot of dudes. What they would do is they do a lot of immigrants, especially Somalis and Ethiopians, Eritreans. What we like to do is we buy several SIM cards for multiple purposes. Like 1 or 2 you use for local usage, another for long distance because depending on the race they had. And we all had one, and you just use it on one cell phone. So you'd be changing SIM cards every so often, depending on which call you got to make, and depending if where you at has a good reception in that area for that particular telecom provider for that SIM card. And this is like 2010 and stuff like that. 2010, 2011 when I saw a lot. We're doing a lot of that. Me. Myself, I've got like two cell phones and 3 SIM cards, and I'll make it work because you gotta have backups for backups and shit, emergency numbers and everything. I wonder if anybody ever thinks about stuff like that on yours end. I mean, most people they just have phones that have like single SIM cards, not dual SIM cards and shit.
Yeah, I've seen people with one or two cell phones. They use the second cell phone for like business or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got the work related and you got the private one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Especially like in certain sectors if you work for the state, you're going to be issued a phone that's going to be for the job, and they provide that and they cover the bill on that. And then you have your private cell, which you keep shut down until later. Since you're in the South, let me ask you guys something, Mr. O. Are you familiar with a telecom provider? An internet provider called Spectrum?
Yeah.
What do you think of their services?
Some people say it's decent, but they're okay. Like if you want their service, that's cool. But most people in the outskirts, they use Xfinity, Comcast. That's based in Philly, so right now. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I don't really care for Xfinity, to be honest with you. There's other better services to get internet. So it's kind of tricky, though. You know, people think Spectrum's pretty cool.
I don't know. I know one dude. He's like, there's a one podcaster I know. He always complains about Spectrum.
Yeah.
The past month, he's been complaining about Spectrum because he's up in Kentucky. Yeah. So it's a real trip in the Louisville area. So the next thing you know, a lot of his some of the followers on his podcast would email him, and they talk about their horror stories with Spectrum. How they've been like, so he's been like bad mouthing them pretty much. But what's the other one companies you called? You mentioned?
I mentioned Xfinity. That's like the cable, and they have the internet provider version, and then they have the TV and all that stuff. And a lot of people don't like Xfinity.
I use Xfinity and the cable and internet. So that's what I have, or Comcast, which is Xfinity.
Yeah.
Do you guys use what is it? How's your structure? Is it fiber optics they use?
I have
for your phone. Okay.
A router.
I have a router, yeah.
A router?
But I have an upgraded router because I had an old one and now it's upgraded to this.
Yeah, I have an upgraded router myself, but they do. I don't know if they do fiber optics. I think they do. It's expensive, but yeah.
I don't know. Here they made it very. Yeah, here that you have two cable. They have two main cable providers, and they also provide internet. But one is called Canal Digital, but the other one I use it's called Altibox, and they provide you with and Altibox they use fiber optics. So you have like the whole, they drill a hole into the wall or some shit like that in some cases and provide but they'll give you like a router and also a TV a DVR kind of receiver and such. No, it's a receiver DVR R1 if you want cable as well. Me, I got rid of my cable. I just use the internet. Not to mention that a lot of the cable, TV networks.
Copper. Okay.
Yeah. Well, fortunate for me up here, instead of having to just get cable TV, I could just use my gaming console or whatnot, because a lot of the TV networks, they've also branched out into streaming services as well.
Right.
So it's easier that way. So I could just watch this stuff whenever I want on my phone, tablet, or on my gaming console. That's how I was able to watch a lot of the soccer tournaments and whatnot, or whatever other things I wanted to watch. Of course, the future is streaming.
Yeah.
You okay? You sound like you're struggling when you say yeah.
No, I'm just listening. I was drinking some water. Clear my throat.
Hey, anybody watching the NFL games today? There was 2 games on today.
I
haven't.
Yeah, no. Green Bay played Cleveland earlier. Green Bay won that one by 2 points.
Oh.
I'm subscribed to the YouTube channel, so I just checked the highlights.
No, right now you got the Cardinals and the Colts playing, which is pretty good. It's 15-13.
What quarter are they on right now? Which quarter is it right now?
You're starting the 4th quarter.
So it's still regular season, right?
Yeah, the Cardinals are on the move right now. They just completed a catch and run for the first down. So they're
all Christmas games. Yeah, it's kind of light. Even the basketball ones are light. All tomorrow will be the Falcons and the Lions.
Yeah, my team playing too. I'm the Cowboys and the Washington team.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a storied rivalry right there.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. We just played them a couple weeks ago and beat them in Washington. We got to play them again here at home in Texas. They'll be at home this time.
What are they gonna change their the franchise's name to? Because they can't just call themselves the Washington team forever.
Yeah, they apparently that's what they'll stick with at least for right now. That's permanent now. So I don't know. Yeah, but the Washington team doesn't make sense. They should, why don't you change your name to like you can call yourselves the Washington Wolverines? You put a wolf on your helmet or something like that.
They ain't gonna do that. They're gonna have to make it match with the people of the land. Like you had the Guardians with the feather, right?
No,
they shouldn't have changed. They shouldn't have changed that at all. Just leave it.
They took it off because of the racism thing. That's why they changed it.
Dude. After what happened last year with the BLM protests, that very season, that's when they changed it.
Yeah, that's what they changed it, but they waited too late years ago.
The Orange Mama pancake syrup, they took the black woman's face off the cover of that.
Yeah,
it's now the Pearl Milling Company.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what are they going to do about Uncle Ben's price? Did they remove Uncle Ben as well?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But would they do that to the Quaker for Quaker Oats? Is my question.
Box. I think the cream of wheat man, he's gone too.
Mm-hmm. Oh man.
Well,
honestly,
those covers did symbolize them as slaves. That's what they were. They were slaves. Because look at this. I saw a Facebook post about Aunt Jemima, and they told the story of where she came from. She was basically a plantation that's called a plantation of slave mammies or slave mommies. And everything. So that's why it was taken off. So see, ever since George Floyd was killed the way he was, and everything has gone down since then. So that's why they're trying to erase. Like I said,
even and this week 18. It used to be 17 weeks when I was coming up.
No, because of the COVID thing. That's why. Because look at this, the games you see them play here. They were last Tuesday. They were postponed because you got over 80 players.
They did it last year. Yeah, that's that COVID effect.
Because you had over 80 players even right now testing positive for COVID.
Yeah, because NFL is 17 weeks. Because when I was coming up, I swear I remember y'all got an extra.
Oh yeah, week. Because each team gets like a 1 week bye and everything.
It ain't that. It's just it was 17 weeks. You get a bye on the 17 weeks.
17, 18, 17. Get a it was like 17, 18 weeks long as a season, but certain teams during that season would get like a 1 week a day off.
Yeah, I understand the bye. I'm just saying there's no 18 weeks. It's 17 weeks. Because I remember years ago, you get a bye week, you don't play, you wait for the playoffs. Like it's based off the playoffs. As I'm saying, like they did this last year, and I was like, oh, okay, so they probably gonna make that standard now. And I see what they're doing. I see. Because here to stay, yeah. Because years ago it wasn't like that. Nah, that was from last year when the NBA had a bubble. So this is what pro leagues do. They follow what the other leagues do, but they have to rearrange their schedules because basketball's year round, and I think football is like how does it start? Well, August, then it ends in February.
They play around the same time. The seasons are like parallel for a while. Even the NHL is also. Same with the NHL.
Yeah, the NHL. I think hockey's year round too, along with the NBA, because they are around the playoff times. Think about it, because in the playoffs,
it's by the end of spring. It's
in the spring, beginning of spring in the summer. Yeah, and it ends, and they're off. I think their off season starts around the same time. Yes, it's kind of weird, but I think that's been done by design too. But the Pro Bowl's in February 6th. I didn't know that. Okay, so the Super Bowl's on the 13th. Okay, yeah, that's for that COVID. Yeah,
and plus, when you think about it, football is more taxing on the human body.
Yeah, it is.
It's not like basketball or baseball.
No,
even hockey hit. For that matter.
Well, hockey, you don't get hurt as much, but you do get injuries. I mean, you do. It's
They
not
get
as
concussions.
severe. Yeah, concussions. That's it. And outside of that, you're like,
or the brawls sometimes.
yeah.
I mean, hang on a second.
He said,
I mean, you get injuries, of course, but you know, like you don't get hurt as bad.
Yeah, I said that earlier, Wacky. Before the NFL regular season had 16 per games, and then just 17 is weeks long. Now the regular season has 70 per and 18. Yeah, that's because of COVID. I answered that. Oh, hold on.
Yeah, look.
Yeah.
You know, he had over 80 players on tested positive for COVID. I mean, I was like, good God.
Yeah.
This Omicron variant is vicious.
Oh my God. Fuck.
I mean,
I would just, if it was that bad, I would just cancel the rest of the season. I mean, it's not worth it. But the thing is, there's
that's
too much
that money. They don't want to lose
money.
that
They
money.
don't care about human lives.
Too much money is involved. We're not just talking about the ticket sales and everything because that's going to be refunded. But
it's TV contracts.
TV contracts,
yeah, and
sponsorships, endorsements.
The network,
you know, endorsement, the network TVs, because you know you got all those sponsors and everything. They got to put their ads out. They paid money for those ad spaces and shit.
You know what? I bet if these players started dying, they probably cancel it to see. And you know what the players ought to do? They ought to take a stand and don't play. Just refuse to play. That would shut it down.
A lot of players, but a lot of players can't afford to like miss out of the season. You know, some of them got financial issues. They got certain commitments. They got to support their families.
But what good is that if they're dead? So you got to think about that too.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But they don't see it that they may not necessarily see it that way. But I see your points. They should. They should, but it's not as straightforward as you think sometimes.
No, basically it's greed. But anyway.
Yeah. And not everybody gets an endorsement deal. Like, offensive line, you don't see offensive or defensive linemen get endorsement deals that much, do you? No. It's usually the quarterback or receivers, running backs, cornerbacks, safeties, linebacker. Is it middle linebackers maybe? You don't see a punter or a kicker on a Weeds commercial, do you? Nope.
Oh yeah, well, the poster boy for the NFL right now is Tom Brady.
How old is he? 42 now?
No, he's in his mid 40s.
He's in his mid 40s.
He's what?
He's in his mid 40s.
But he's still in shape though. I guess he might play till 50. I don't know. I mean, who knows?
Oh,
I doubt it.
That dude.
He ain't gonna play to his 50 until he gets banged up, because at that age, I mean, he's trying to be like that old quarterback from the Bears that played a lot of years and won championships. I forget his name, but
you mean Vince something? It was Vince something or
Vince McMahon? Jim McMahon.
It was something like that. It was a white quarterback play like that.
Yeah, Jim McMahon. Yeah, the one that was also marketable. He was flashy, wore a headband and everything.
He had the visor.
Another reason
on
why
his helmet.
Pro Sports don't want to do another postponement is because they don't want to lose money in product sales. NBA, NFL, NBL, and NHL make a lot of jersey, T-shirt sales during games. Exactly, that's factual.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and them jerseys are expensive as hell.
Well, NBA jerseys is the biggest because of the stars. What do you say?
I'm pretty sure LeBron James jersey is going to cost you a mint.
Yeah,
literally.
Just like the Tom Brady's NFL. See, it's the key stars. NBL, it varies. You got that guy from the Red Sox. It's a couple of NHL. You got MLB? A lot. I forget. Yeah, I just said baseball. I said the guy from the Red Sox. He's the biggest, and it's a couple others. But I don't follow baseball like I used to. But the NHL, I do remember, is several other players. It's a list. It's been a while since I don't keep up with the stars with that, because most people look at those leagues as team sports. Now, NFL and NBA is the worst. They do care about stars quite as it's kept. NFL tries to front, but the NBA pushes player. It's a players league versus a teams league, like it was in Mike's time and prior. But I mean, it's a team sport. It's a team sport. But I get what people are saying. But it's also a players league. They control what the owners, things like that, they work together. It's like it's fucked up. You got the players and the owners work together, but the fans is leaving to the dust. But fans got to understand it's theater to them. But the players said, no, it's a business. Put on that jersey.
Oh, just like
yeah.
I mean, just like you remember, like was it like every once in a while you always have the players union and the owners union have to work out a new contract.
They're unionized league. That's the thing about these leagues, and he just mentioned those are unionized leagues. And they get paid by the union. See, it ain't like wrestling. Like you have a contract. You got to work for yourself and be entrepreneurial. And New Jack said it best, man. He said, "Look, if you're that guy, he kept his name. Now, if you're like a job or whatever, you're gonna have a hard time."
Or like an MMA for that matter. There's only two sports but there are two sports I can think of, individual sports where they do have a union.
Okay, Wacky, yeah.
Well, wrestling isn't really a sport. It's basically sports entertainment because it's fake, of course,
Yeah,
but
true.
It's like this in the WWE system, they're listed as independent contractors, but you can't wrestle for nobody else because in the other
exclusivity contracts.
Yeah, in the other companies, you're allowed to wrestle for anybody else, and it's encouraged. But so WWE contradicts itself by saying you're independent contractors, but you can't work with nobody else because you're under the WWE flag or logo. And when you get released, you have a 90-day no compete clause, unless you're lucky or I'm saying as far as that goes.
But that's if they release you from your contract. But like, say your contract expires. Then you're free agent. You can go wherever you want. They can't stop you from that one. They can't put you on a 90-day clause on that one.
Yeah.
The 90-day no compete clause is if you've been released from your contract with them.
Yeah.
But some people, what they do is they can have a no cut contracts, which means like
right.
I've heard now that Vince McMahon's implemented the 90-day automatically now because of what it is. He just re-signed Kevin Owens to a better deal, to $3.2 million or like
a year,
3 years. But look at this. The catch to that is to re-sign him with a higher pay. That makes it easier for WWE to release him later because it happened with the Fiend, aka Bray Wyatt. They signed him, and I think even Braun Strowman. Because like I said, WWE has released over 80 wrestlers this past year alone. They call them budget cuts. But because, like I say, they'll release their, quarterly earnings all around, marketing, house shows.
And not everybody can go to AEW. Some of them went to Impact. Others they had to go down to Mexico, and some of them went to New Japan. But what you said about AEW or the contract companies, when they go to, they can have their members of their roster to go to other promotions. But that's if they have a working relationship with that promotion. And it has to be on a certain understanding. WCW had the same thing when they had with New Japan, I think, or was it All Japan? The same thing they also did with AAA or CMLL. Yeah. But that depends on those promotions down in Mexico or in Japan, or to certain promotions like in places like Europe. So it depends on the promomunes. What kind of working relationship do you have with the promotion you signed to?
They don't have to have a partnership relationship so much.
No, AAA. That's Mexico. AAA.
No, I'm saying
AAA.
I was saying if AEW doesn't have a relationship with another promotion, if the wrestler wants to wrestle down there, he has commitment. He's still allowed to wrestle down there. He just comes back, because a lot of wrestlers in AEW, at least several of them, sometimes we don't see them for weeks and weeks. They're wrestling. You see a post on them wrestling for this promotion here, doing that,
Or they're on the indie circuits, or like they're like in small regional promotions, because some of these guys are young. They're not ready. They're not ready to be on prime time. They need to hone their skills a bit.
Well, actually, it's the younger talent that does need to be on TV because that's what they're supposed to be building new stars instead of bringing in ex-WWE veterans. But
the problem is like, I think I do. I hear what you're saying, but the problem is like some of these guys are too green. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's not like Impact. That's the problem. A lot of them are too green, and they're doing just the flashy shit instead of showing that they can actually work. They're good performers if you know what you're doing in the ring. Some of these guys are just doing taking too many risks, too many high flying stuff, and not understanding how to hone their skills and not to develop certain bad habits. I mean, TNA was that way. They were developing great stuff. They were developing great stars and everything, and it was a great promotion. The problem was like I guess It just they didn't have like a developmental program. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That would be cool if they had like a developmental program, like so they can take some of these young.
Ago, AEW and TNA or Impact actually partnered up for a while because they had Kenny Omega appear on some of the pay-per-views, but then just recently they ended the partnership. But I think it ended.
You also had the Good Brothers were also the Good Brothers who were tag team champions at Impact. They were appearing on AEW shows. But I guess something happened because the problem is like AEW, their offices are in Jacksonville, Florida. Impact, from what I understand, their offices are up in Montreal, Quebec, because that's where Scott D'Amore, one of the head guys, is.
He's Canadian, because actually Impact when they were TNA, they were based in Florida also, but they moved to Canada.
I don't know if they were based in Florida. They were based in Orlando, Florida. Yeah, but before that, they were based in Tennessee, and they were known as
Nashville, Tennessee. Yeah,
that's what
Nashville, Tennessee, because that's where the Jarretts are from.
Yeah, Jarrett started that promotion back in 2001 when WCW closed down. Because remember, they were doing just weekly pay-per-views for $9.99.
TNA is really based off NWA, so it's the same company.
Of course, the format,
it's still the same company because when NWA failed, they call themselves World Championship Wrestling. It's the same stable.
Actually,
you know what's so funny though? They have the same wrestlers, but the funny thing is, some of them came from what you say the Federation / Entertainment. That's what changes things, and I think when Kane, the creation of him, and I think Kevin Nash, and I believe what's his name, Razor Ramon, known as Scott Hall. You know, they went against Vince McMahon in the F because he wasn't paying them right. But New Jack broke it down and tell people, here's the creation of Kane. He said, I can dress anybody to dress to be you to replace you. And he was saying that too in the interview. That interview is still around on YouTube. If you watch that interview, how he said that, he dressed up Glenn Jacobs and he told him, come here. And he put the whole outfit. I'm just trying to break it down with that red mask. That was a replacement of Diesel / Kevin Nash. Now Kevin Nash wanted more money. When he left and then Vince didn't pay him, he said, I can replace you anytime. See, Vince doesn't care who he replaces. He'll get somebody to replace. And once he realized that Glenn Jacobs was an option, that's what I'm saying. But I'm breaking it down how he got replaced, and he was just trying to make an example. And a lot of people didn't understand why he did that back then. I understand what he did. He's just trying to make an example of anybody that's come with that bullshit. I can do you the same way. And then when New Jack broke it down to people, that's how he got down. A lot of people didn't like that back then because back then it was like cutthroat, but now it's like, no one gives a fuck about it no more. That's why you got AEW and the other wrestling pro circuits. You got XPW. I think it's still around. You got some. I think you can watch on Roku. That's independent. You can still find
Ring of Honor was a while until they shut down this year.
Yeah, they shut down. Yeah, actually, but hey, sir, it's still cutthroat the whole business. But see, back then, Scott and Kevin Nash, I think they were going to resign because they were friends with Vince. And the thing is, but see, WCW at the time, Ted Turner, when Ted Turner took over, he had it set up where, because he had billions. And when Bischoff came in, he brought Bischoff in to be producer and run it and sign wrestlers with his money. They offered guaranteed contracts, more money, and weekends off, and a good schedule. See, they had to offer more money. So that's what it was about money. That's why they left Vince. Vince made them stars, but when it came down time for money, they went over here,
he made them stars, but I don't think he just made them stars. It was the money, but way New Jack explained, it's bigger than that. Like, they wasn't afraid of Vince. Vince was just a guy that didn't took care of his wrestlers, and they saw a lot of things why they didn't invest. And I don't know why the hell one of them came back. I kind of laughed, and that just proves my point. Like, they can be replaced once they felt that replacement with Glenn Jacobs. Oh, that's when Kane got his rise, and you saw the difference because when Kane came, it kind of changed.
I don't remember him.
That's Scott Hall. That's the same guy.
No, the guy who replaced Scott Hall. The guy who replaced Scott Hall.
I know his name. I know you're talking about. Yeah, he did the same way, but I'm just using Kevin Nash for example. When he was Diesel, and that was a replacement of Glenn Jacobs. Glenn Jacobs, known as Kane, used the fake brother.
Before that, he was known as Isaac Yankem, DDS.
Yeah,
That was his first.
He started off with
Yeah.
Isaac Yankum.
He started that, and then I think Vince gave him the idea with the character, and that was just to teach what you call Scott Hall and Kevin Nash a lesson.
Yeah, they made fun of him.
Yeah,
I remember the guy that was Scott Hall, that chubby guy, because he was like talking and everything. Oh, he's dead now too. He passed away.
Yeah,
and that was only temporary though, because both of them, because when Jacob disappeared again, and then he, like I said, he came back as Kane, and that was his character for his career. Oh,
yeah.
Kane's a mayor now in his own.
Yeah, I know. He's in politics. Yeah, yeah.
He's actually up for re-election. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh my goodness, a wrestler is a mayor.
People don't understand that example that Vince did at that time. A lot of people don't understand, and I'm glad people saw it now. Back then I knew what it was, because when Kane came, he was brand new in the mid-90s, and then I think over time he did age well. Oh yeah, a lot of fans those Inferno matches.
He was brought in by it was the Undertaker who brought him in, because what happened was, like, the Undertaker.
Yeah, that feud. Yeah,
he was
introduced him.
They were loaned out, and if you ever check out WWE Network, Stone Cold has his podcast, his interview thing on the Broken Skull.
Yeah, he broke it down. He broke.
And he asked Taker about that, about his half of the story, about his part of the story, what happened, how he met Kane. He said, "I met Kane. I think it was at Smoky Mountain. This is when
it goes back to Smoky Mountain with."
He got in the ring with him, and the minute he got in the ring with him, he realized, "Whoa, I can make a serious draw with this cat."
Yeah, that's what they all do, man.
And he mentioned Glenn Jacobs to Vince, and said he put in a good word. They had a talk. They had a couple conversations. He said, "Listen, I like what you're doing. You're great and everything. You got to come up. He was co-signing for this guy to come up, for Jacobs to, Mark Calloway, aka the Undertaker, was he wanted to. He was co-signing. He was begging Vince to bring him up. And in '95, he ended up coming, but he started out as Isaac Yankum.
Yeah, so he was already a veteran. He was just off TV, and then, like I said, they wanted to repackage him, and that's when Paul Bearer started the storyline saying, "Your brother's coming," and people didn't.
Use the fake brother analogy. That was 97. That was a fake brother storyline, I think.
Of course, yeah. I'm saying the storyline. It was a good storyline, though. It was good.
Yeah, it was a good story, but it was a fake brother storyline, and I knew they weren't brothers. You know what? I agree with Wolf was saying. I was like, yeah, the reason they did that, and I think he had some matches with him in Smoky Mountain. I think Undertaker saw the talent,
and they saw a lot of each other.
And not only that, you had New Jack came from there. The Gangsters, that was coined by Jim Cornette. Yeah.
Before they went to ECW after that. God rest his soul. God rest his soul. New Jack. He passed away recently.
Yeah, rest in peace. Yeah.
But
and that's because
really
of the cocaine in the heart.
Yeah.
But I seen all his shoots. I seen all his shoots talking about all that stuff, even how Kane came about, because he know him from Smoky Mountain best. And if y'all watch his shit, he'll tell you in detail how that, the Undertaker, Kevin Nash, Taz not being a tough guy, like he puts on that persona like Tyson, but before he was orange, I forget, he said he was just an Italian kid with red hair, and I said, wow, from the suburbs. I did not know that. And all these years, I always thought he was from Red Hook, but the way he broke it down to shoot before his death, and he said, no, he's a guy from the suburbs. I said, God damn. That makes sense. But there's some pictures. Yeah. He they had pictures of him before he was tan. He used to go to the tanning spot, and I said, that makes sense now.
So this is before he got bigger, and before he
orange, before he orange tan. Yeah, before that he was a white chubby dude. Before he got muscle bound and built. I did not know that, but see, I think he's part Italian, something like that. But
he is Italian American. Background judo.
Read that article. If you got pictures, go and send them to me on a Discord.
But since we're talking about the big money guaranteed contracts and such, the first one contract that really pissed off Vince was, like, if you remember, the very first Monday Nitro. It was shot in the biggest mall in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and their first major signing was a returning Lex Luger. Luger quietly did not, because what happened was Luger was in contact, was having calls with Eric Bischoff, and Bischoff said, "So what's the situation with your contract?" He said, "It's up for renewal and whatnot." And he said, "You know what? Don't bother. Just let it run. Just let it expire, and then you can come over and sign with us." And that's when he showed up on WCW TV on the very first Monday Nitro. Much everybody's shocked because. And I'm sure he was kind of frustrated because, you know, he thought, you know, Vince would put the belt on him, but it didn't turn out that way. So he, you know, I mean, the All-American, you know, persona was like, you know, losing its luster and everything. Things were working out. So he left. And then he came to WCW.
Right, yeah, that did piss off Vince because Vince didn't even know it. Because now, according to Vince's story was Lex said he would sign with him, even though he didn't sign. He would sign with him. So it's like he double crossed him. And then when he showed up on TNT and Nitro, Vince found out about it and was ticked off. So of course Lex got the money, never went back. So you know.
Also, what was it like? I remember. Was it like? Was it that round table? Because there was like this one series. It was a round table of WWE veterans and other guys.
Yeah, because they had the women on there
smoking cigars and talking.
Yeah.
Now Kevin Nash was in there, and they were talking about the formation, the NWO, how it started. And he said, like, Nash talked about how, you know, first of all, Hall told him Bischoff came to him, and they offered him something called the favored nations type of deal. Which means basically, if you say I'm signed to this promotion, right? Favored nations basically means I'm the highest paid, and if they sign somebody and pay them higher, they got to bump me up to that person's pay grade as well, just to keep me happy and keep me to stay in the promotion. And they were offering people all kinds of money like that way, and that's what. And I mean. And it was easy for, you know, to guys to jump ship, you know, from WWE to WCW at the time. I mean, Macho Man, he wanted to continue competing, but Vince tried to relegate him to the commentary booth. And he was like, nah. So he went to WCW, and he found success there. Of course, Macho Man also had some great. Also, one of the smartest things they did for Macho was the Slim Jim commercials and shit. He was doing great. He was making a lot of money with that. Great endorsement deal right there. So he got the favored nation. So Scott Hall had the favored nations to convince Kevin Nash to come join him. Ted DiBiase would show up. Sean Waltman would show up as well. Of course, Sean Waltman wasn't really happy with things were over there, so he ended up coming back in '98, if you might remember. X-Pac.
X-Pac. Yeah.
He came back. What's his name? Jeff Jarrett. He left, and then he came back, and then he left again. Big Boss Man, he came back. Ray Traylor, aka Big Boss Man, came back to WWE like in late 98, 99. No, 98 he came back. I guess things didn't work out at WCW by then. Who else came back? Who else? The Big Show would come in the beginning by like February, like late January, early February '99. He would show up in WWE. One of the biggest signings, from the biggest jumps. Who else also jumped? When you think about it, when you look at the Monday Night Wars, you see the whole series. They talk about. There was this one episode they had in particular. It's centered around both The Undertaker and Sting. How those two remained in their respective camps and never thought about jumping ship.
Yeah.
I mean, Ric Flair jumped ship, but he jumped ship for a reason.
Yeah.
And then he came back. But he did it for a reason because, you know, he had a reason for it. I mean, same thing, or what's his name's? Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, Perry Saturn.
But Sting did start out World Wrestling Federation / Entertainment, but over time he did stay in WCW. Yeah. Undertaker's the only one never jumped ship. I've yet to see him in WCW.
He was in WCW for one time.
but when it didn't last long. And I think Sting, now that is a good comparison. I'll give you that. Yeah, they had a small stint in those two. But what I come to find out, like
with their respective, because
yeah,
they were like the
whole time, the stable.
They were the
two
franchise players. They were the stable and the franchise players of their respective promotions.
I forget how many years they stayed in. He stayed in WWE a lot. The Undertaker. I always like the Undertaker and Sting. They're very similar.
Came to WWE in '91. Sting was part of WCW before it separated itself from the NWA.
Yeah.
So he'd been there a little bit longer. So like 87, 88 at least.
Hey, speaking of the NWA, you know there's an NWA promotion again because
yeah.
At first they were basically a YouTube channel. They still are, but they're doing pay-per-views now. But it's the same kind of it was the same kind of studio and the format that you saw on the Superstation and TBS back in the 80s.
Yeah,
it's called NWA Power.
What's it? Billy Corgan owns it. Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins.
There's also that. The wrestlers can go there because some wrestlers from AEW have wrestled there too.
Yeah, they have a working relationship with them. I mean, what's her name?
Yeah.
That young lady from what's her name? Legit something. Something to Hirsch, Taylor Hirsch.
Yeah. Also, Mickey James is there too.
Mickey James there. Well, Mickey James, she has a reason to be down there because her husband Nick Aldis is a competitor contract there.
And I think Mickey James has been signed on there now as a producer as well as a competitor. I think.
I can see why. I mean, because things.
Because she works backstage too, behind the scenes.
Well, she's 40. She's also, not to mention, she and Aldis, they have a son together. They're married and have a son together, and she wants to be near her son at all time for more, because he's important. It's a family right there. Who else? But the thing is that the locker room and NWA, it's all business. They understand. They all have a great respect for the craft and everything. It's a great atmosphere there because they're all professionals. They're all mature. You got a lot of veterans in there. A lot of guys are up and comers, but they all understand the business and they know how to work with each other. I'm not sure what it's like in WWE right now, the locker room, although there's a lot of camaraderie there because a lot of guys have been together for a while. AEW, I don't know. It's weird because they're starting to get there with a lot of those guys are starting to understand where they fit in. You know what I'm saying? Especially in that locker room, they all sit down and some of the young cats, if they're willing to listen, they'll talk with some of the veterans, especially the guys from who are WWE fame and whatnot, guys who understand, who are more mature, have a better understanding of the business, the veterans. If they're willing to listen, willing to work with them, they might be able to work great matches and shit. But it's just the atmosphere, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you got a lot of brilliant minds, but I'm just thinking it's like just the product needs some work, and the storylines and the way that the shows are booked. But yeah, but anyway, we kind of drifted off topic because we were talking about like we mentioned about contracts and whatnot and unions.
Yeah,
I can actually think of two individual sports where where everybody is part of a union. Two sports. One of them is tennis, where the men have the ATP and the women have the WTA. The second one is golf, because you have the PGA and the LPGA for women.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a union right there. So they realize collective, and they also have branches, and it's a lot like bodybuilding. I think I'm not sure about tennis, but golf, it's a lot like bodybuilding. So you got to get if you want to join the union, you got to get your pro card. You got to win a couple of tournaments, and then you be eligible to become a pro, to be on the tour. You got to earn your pro card. You got to maintain your pro card.
Yeah.
Do that pro card, you're a union. It's kind of like when you like the like in entertainment in Hollywood, you have like the Screen Actors Guild and you got the Writers Guild. You got to, once you've made it, you're in, you get your guild and you're there for a couple of years, but you got to renew it every once in a while.
Yeah.
And there's some benefits and whatnot. I mean, I don't know if anybody remembers, like the I think it was the Writers Guild. They had a strike for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the power of unions. And those are the unions that Reagan wouldn't fuck with. Think about the unions that the Reagan didn't fuck with.
Yeah.
You know, Malik, you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, yeah, I think so. Yeah,
like certain unions. I mean, like remember George? Like was it Reagan? He dismantled certain unions, such as like was it the auto workers, airplane, like the ones for Lockheed and McDonnell Douglas. Those kinds of unions, they kind of dismantled them. But certain unions they didn't mess with, like for example, the ones in public service, like law enforcement, fire department, paramedics. Those in the entertainment, the guilds.
I think those were governmental because those were really top notch. Because I said those are the communities, so they don't want to mess with the people of the communities, you know. But as far as companies, yeah, they'll mess with companies, yeah, because big corporations basically would cut out unions, you know, because that way employees wouldn't have anyone to complain to about conditions or money, you know, like that. You know, it was basically like cutting out a middleman in a way.
It's messed up.
It's messed up, yeah. But that's like I said, like you said, that's the way it is.
I mean, I'm thankful I'm up here because the unions here they're pretty powerful, but they're not too powerful because the government still has their position, and it's a balance. Because I've seen like, but they do drive a hard bargain at times. Because I've seen like unions go on strike a few times. Like I remember, was it like security unions for like security system for like security services? They went on strike, and next thing you know, a lot of people they couldn't work the ATMs, so they had to just pay with their debit cards and everything whenever they went shopping. Even whenever they went to even convenience stores, supermarkets, they told them, sorry, we can't. Sorry, we don't have cash. We don't have any change in the register. Could you please pay with your card, please? I remember bus driver unions like inside Oslo's metropolitan area almost went on strike, but they were able to like extend the negotiation period, and they were able to iron out a deal for what that would like go on that would continue up until like around this time. Farmers unions, I remember, was it a few years ago? I remember like was it like in the municipality in next door from where I lived, they had a big teacher strike. The teachers were striking over certain things they weren't happy with. And this is before COVID. I remember seeing those strikes, and I remember passing by and asking, "Hey, how's the strike going?" He said, "It's all right. It's cool. It's cool. All right, that's cool." And they were very civil about it. They were very civil about it because they don't want to disrupt things. So, but at least there's some decency with that shit. Be it private companies or whatnot, because here in Europe they understand the importance of protecting workers' rights and shit. So they unions are strong. They keep the corporations in check as best they can, but you still have corruption at certain levels, and some of it gets but when some of that shit surfaces, that's when they have to like start cleaning that shit out, if they do. Yeah, I know it's not idealistic, but it is what it is.
Oh wow, BGS is over at Art of Immortals. Okay, wow, you just started the Coliseum.
They started the Coliseum. Oh man, do you think Charles is already there?
No, let me check. No, it's got AB Media and AL.
Oh, the mother trucker.
Yeah.
Oh, I see Jesse's in there as well.
Yeah.
Charles is live right now?
Yeah, no, not Charles. Art of Ibmore. Charles, I'm not sure if he'll be on. I don't know if Charles will be on, but if Art of Ibmore is there, Charles will eventually be there. I can't wait for the throwdowns. What kind of insults are they going to be having this time?
Yeah.
I don't know. Last time, the way they were just busting each other's balls, that was just funny as hell.
Yeah.
The BBW jokes and everything. Oh man, those two, or will Art of Edmond get any big wins this time? Or will Charles destroy him? Will the Cowboys prevail, or will they lose to the Ravens once again? That's the question. I'm sorry, can you put that up? Thank you. And a lot of these young indie guys, they spend most of their time in the matches very much so choreographed. It does not feel like a real match. Yeah, you got a good point there, Degenerate. I mean, because a lot of them are young, they don't know what they're doing. They don't really know what they're doing. I mean, yeah, they're choreographed, but they still have to. They still need to work on their. They still need time to hone on their craft. They're not ready for TV. They need to hone their crafts. Their facial expressions is another issue. Because at least because you got to be you got to be great in the ring, but and you can't be hot. You can't be hot shotting it. You can't be hot shotting it. You got to understand the psychology. Ring psychology is important. You're trying to when you do certain things, you're trying to get a reaction out of the crowd, be it negative or positive. There's so many intricate aspects of professional wrestling that a lot of them still don't know. It's not just what you learn in the ring, it's also how you carry yourself.
Right.
How you maintain the kayfabe. How you present yourself. You got to be convincing.
Yeah, you got to have a character. You got to be able to talk and cut a promo.
Yeah.
Cut a promo, but also, cut a promo.
All the other BS.
My skills, because you gotta, because the promoter basically has to puts you in that ring, but you got to show him that it's a good investment, that you got great mic skills to convince people to want to watch you either get your ass kicked if you're a heel, or want you to see you come out on top if you're a babyface. There's a lot of intricate aspects of the sport that people don't understand. And even when you're in the ring, it's not just about the flashy moves. You got to show how you can work in the ring and tell a story in that match, and work with another person, and make it look convincing and very professional. You got to be a pro about it. And you got to know how to know when to get the crowd in, or when to keep them quiet, how to shock and awe. You can't just go for the cheap pops. Some people haven't learned that yet, especially because look at this. Yeah. I mean, look at this generation. Look at the attention span of this generation. The shock jock era has long been dead, man.
Yeah.
Nobody understands. Everybody wants instant gratification. Sometimes nobody understands. Sometimes it's better to just have a little patience. It's just space things out.
Yeah.
Like that marshmallow. There's a child psychologist had this thing with experiment with marshmallows or candy.
Yeah.
They would give a kid a piece of candy or marshmallow. Tell him, if you wait 5 minutes, if you wait a certain amount of minutes, I'll put another one there, and you can enjoy it. Some would just take it and just really forget about it. Others, they would just wait.
Mm-hmm.
And from that, you would just realize, and they realized something interesting about some of those kids. Some had patience. Others were focused on instant gratification. Others were able to prolong their gratification.
Yeah.
For a greater reward. So that's what I'm trying to say. Some of the young kids just are and the crowd are like those kids who just want to pick up that marshmallow immediately, instead of waiting to prolong the gratification till an opportune time. It's also about picking your spots.
As far as WWE goes, that isn't the place to work, because here's their pattern. As far as having mic skills and being able to talk, that's not really I mean, it's a factor, but it's not much of a factor, because, like I said, a lot of wrestlers are very select few get over on their own. WWE doesn't like that, because they end up burying them. And then when they see potential in them and try to build them, they start off in the NXT, right? Then of course they come to the main roster. They come to the main roster, and their career just crashes and dives. I've seen
they
it happen.
get buried.
No, I've seen it happen just many times, and then they get released. I mean, look at that bullshit they did with Retribution.
Yeah,
They had months ago. Half of them are, I think, already gone. Him, who's one of the cuts, very talented. When she got on TV as Reckoning, who did she lose to in the first match? Dana Brooke of all people, who can't wrestle worth shit. I mean, she got blonde hair and good looks, and that's about it, and muscles, and that's about it.
She's a fitness competitor. That's what she's best known for. She's also has a background in gymnastics, but you're right. She can't really work that well. She's not a good worker. It's I guess it's just like, some people, their work rate isn't that good. And Mia Yim, she's been in the business a long time, a veteran. She's been a champion in other promotions, TNA especially.
Yeah.
But when they cut her, they also cut what's his name?
Keith Lee.
Keith Lee, who's her fiance. And they gotta wait. They both gotta wait 90 days before they can go to some other promotion. I don't know. With Keith Lee, they get the last push where they call him Bearcat and everything. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. I mean, it's not really.
When they post their quarterly earnings, their numbers are good, but apparently on their side, I was told, it's business. See, the thing is, a lot of those contracts are high-paying contracts, so they're cutting that just to save their budget, but their income budget is basically billions of dollars. I mean, they are millions. They earn millions and millions and millions and millions and millions, which add up to billions each year. So why are you cutting these people? I mean, and I can't believe they cut Braun Strowman and the Fiend. And the Fiend was taking off. I mean, well, he was taking off, but when you put him in the program with John Cena, that killed him. And then you paired him up with Alexa Bliss, which really killed him, in my opinion. So, and then of course they've taken her off TV now because they're going to repackage her now because her whole, scary Alexa Bliss thing that she was doing with the little doll and everything, that was basically stupid. So,
you realize a lot of those guys should be saying like, "No, I can't do it," but some of them are scared to say no because they're scared of what's going to happen. Because if I get cut, then that means I have to wait. I gotta wait a month and a half. I gotta wait 3 months before I can be eligible to compete in other places. And then of course there's Jeff Hardy. They let him go, and he's like, "All right, cool." He didn't care. He's like, "Hey, I'll be all right."
Yeah.
I mean, then again, he lives in North Carolina, so it's not like he's gonna be bleeding. He's gonna be gonna be falling on hard times. He's financially stable. It's just like, I guess he was just not happy with things. They were claiming that they offered him rehab, but we don't know what the truth is. Was there substance abuse?
Some people think he was faking that because he wanted to get fired. He wanted out. But if that's true, good for him. He should get out.
Yeah, I mean, they weren't promoting him right, so he'd be out. But if he goes to AEW, I'm just wondering, because the problem with AEW is issues like a lot of people like. You ever listen to Jim Cornette's podcasts? He's got a couple podcasts.
I listen to the segment all the time. Yeah,
I used to listen to a couple of
them.
Yeah. What he said, he was right. I can understand his point about AEW, especially because the Young Bucks are the EVPs of the tag team division, and they pretty much have a tendency to bury everybody because they don't want anybody to outshine them. Tag teams, that is. If Jeff Hardy comes and him and Matt do a program with them, how's that going to exactly work? Somebody's got to work it out a certain way. But I am glad to see that, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly is finally in AEW after he left TNA, after he left NXT. There was no 90-day with him because his contract just expired, so he just said, "I ain't re-signing," and he just showed up a couple of days ago on AEW television. So it's him, Fish, the Red Dragon are back together, and Adam Cole. All they need now is for Roderick Strong to leave NXT and come over. I mean, I'm sure he has one incentive to be down there, and that's Marina Shafir, his wife. Most people might know Marina Shafir as Ronda Rousey's best friend, fellow judoka and everything. She's competing in AEW. She got signed to AEW a while back. So it's going to be inevitable. He might come down there. You know. So the four of them, and plus, they have a son together, so I can understand him. Like, it's a good idea to maybe just come over there. Because what are they doing with him in AEW? It's in NXT with as a cruiserweight champ. That's just, I don't know.
Yeah,
they're not booking him right, but then again, will AEW have a better booker? They need more competent bookers. That's the thing. They need competent bookers. And they need to and these guys need to be more creative with their storylines, get some really, some actual creative, really convincing stories and work. And then they'd be good. Same thing with other promotions. But then again, my question is, what about working with other promotions like overseas? Like, I mean, I'm not sure if they still have a relationship with New Japan anymore, but if they work with All Japan, that'd be interesting. Because New Japan isn't the only promotion in Japan. There's also Dragon Gate. There's a couple other promotions. But they need to get some of the people they bring over from some of these promotions got to be top notch, or young talent that actually can work and have great talent, not just because somebody's got like we said about the women's division. I remember Malik, you might know what I'm saying, because Jim Cornette, what he says about what he refers to Kenny Omega, he refers to him as Kenny Olivier or Twinkle Toes.
No, he calls him Twinkle Toes.
Twinkle Toes McFinger Bang.
Yeah,
and he talks about
he is hilarious. Jim Cornette has a great mind for business, and he's just one of those guys that has that, like I said, him and Paul Heyman are, I think, two of the greatest minds in the wrestling business.
Yeah, but the difference between them is this: Paul Heyman is unscrupulous, unethical, and as the son of an ambulance chaser and a litigating attorney, he knows how to be as shady as they come. That's why a lot of people have known him as a complete liar. He's done things that he's not ashamed of doing. He's been known to be quite the fast talker, because he started out as a ringside photographer. Jim Cornette started out as a ringside photographer, but he also worked as he eventually worked as a manager, and then he ended up working alongside guys like Dusty Rhodes and whatnot when it came to booking. But the problem is like Paul Heyman, one thing that he can never escape is the legacy of ECW.
Yeah.
That hardcore style, and how bringing that alternative form of wrestling has done more harm than good for the pro wrestling scene in general over the years.
Yeah, hardcore wrestling ain't what it used to be now, and it's watered down.
ECW was popular. The only problem is Paul Heyman's financial business wasn't up to par, because remember, bounce checks.
Yeah, he wasn't paying nobody. They didn't get paid, and I discussed
it. Was the business dealings he did were really shady. I mean, what was it they said about him? Paul Heyman was more likely to climb a tree and stay alive than to stay on the ground and tell the truth.
Yeah, they didn't pay them. That's why they go against them. And then, like we just said, the ECW's been dead. It's gone. You can't try to remake something like the originals, like he said it best. And he said that in a shoot. He said, you can't bring that back.
You can't bring that back. I mean, especially like the hardcore barbed wire matches, everything. You can't do that anymore. Yeah. And the storylines at that time were too outrageous. You could do a cage match.
You could do a tables, ladders, and chairs. That's it, and it's mild. You could survive, and people are not impressed.
But there had to be a reason for having those matches. You could just have them willy nilly.
Yeah,
they had to be part of the storyline.
yeah, they structured in the storyline, but it's silly. That's why I don't take WWE seriously. When ECW did, no, it was willy nilly, but it wasn't just willy nilly. It was actually you knew what to do, but it wasn't scripted. You know, New Jack, his stuff was a little scripted, but he never wrote a script. A lot of people think he did. That's Scott because he memorized the shit. The difference was Vince couldn't control him, and he didn't like that because he was the first one. And I told this to DeAndre, and we had a discussion on it. I said, the reason he didn't get controlled and the reason he didn't get big in 04 in WWE, Vince was trying to water him down. If you notice, he took some of the Smoky Mountains original gangsters. That's why the Nation of Domination is a ripoff of Smoky Mountain. And New Jack said it when he was alive, which is true because they did use the talking points, they did use the mic skills and the promos and shit. And I noticed that too. And I look back at it now. And I was watching the interviews he was saying. I look back at the day, like take me back to my childhood and then old as I am now. And I realized they did something similar to that. Yeah. And then The Rock, that fell out. You know, the Russos kind of fucked him over on that. And that's why I said that, I mean, Dre said this in the stream. Yeah, this is when he went with the Elvis and the James Brown look and all that shit. And that helped his career too. He dropped that Hawaiian shit, that Samoan shit. That wasn't gonna fly with his grandfather. They wasn't gonna accept that. They was gonna accept you as a Black American mixed with that or whatever, you know, a Welsh. You know, he's part Welsh too because his dad's from, you know, New Wales. But you know, Rocky Johnson,
actually,
him
Rocky
and his
Johnson
dad,
was from Nova Scotia, Halifax, Nova Scotia.
He's from Nova Scotia, but he's actually born in Wales. So yeah, no, he's born in Wales. Yeah, he was born in Wales. Yeah, I know his history more than anybody. But okay. he was popular. But here's the thing: Tony Atlas actually made The Rock. I mean, Dwayne Johnson. I hate to say that. Tony trained him more than his dad. His dad and The Rock didn't really get along that much. I read his stories. I was like, God damn, I didn't know it was like that. It was cool when he was younger, but then the training part, Tony was more of his mentor than anything. Because if you look at Tony Atlas and The Rock, they're very fucking similar with the slams, the press slams he used to do, and then Rock used certain moves. Yeah, he saw Hogan and things like that. You know, his dad was a good tag team partner, but Tony Atlas was something else. He always big up Tony Atlas.
He practiced as how to conduct interviews and whatnot, if you remember.
Yeah, from him. I think his grandfather was okay, and I think me and Dre discussed about that. Yeah, but his career went. It was good. But he never fucked with Vince like that. I agree with Dre said. Yeah, he didn't. He was his own dude, just like New Jack. There's a lot of wrestlers like that, but the ones that fuck with Vince, I tell people it was Triple H, Paul Leskew, aka Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Triple H.
He fucked his daughter. Let's be serious.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Very true.
Oh man, China was fucked up.
He was desperate, but you know, Vince needed somebody to be friends with. Yeah.
But who else? The JR, when you hear him talk about what was it like in the business during his time, how to maintain things. But then again, JR and James E, you know, a couple of Southern boys, good friends, long-term friends. Oh, and oh, by the way, Malik, you know who he refers to as shit stains, right? Malik.
Oh, he left. He left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Wait.
Because
wait, what?
Vince Russo, James E. Cornette, he refers to Vince Russo as shit stains because he's always had an immense hatred for him.
Oh yeah.
Going back to WCW when he did the Oklahoma parody, where they mocked everything about JR, but from his barbecue to his Bell's palsy and everything. And speaking of which, I think he's like right now going through chemotherapy for skin cancer, but he'll be back. He's going to be back like soon enough. I think he'll be back by the end of the month or at the beginning of the next year. But you know, the promotion being the way it is, the business being the way it is what it is. You know, it's interesting how we talk about these things. You know, we multifaceted, even here in the villain sphere.
Yeah,
he's a multifaceted. Although I myself am not really a villain, I'm more of an anti-hero. Albert Francis Simmons, aka Spawn. Now you got to admit that was a good movie, despite the quality of the film. You know.
Oh yeah, yeah. Spawn was. That was a good movie. I've seen it.
Black superheroes have always saved the world. Spawn. What's his name? Wesley Snipes. You know, Michael J. White is Spawn. Wesley Snipes is Blade. Before that, let's not forget Will Smith.
Oh yeah.
In Independence Day and MIB. How many of you guys remember 97? How many people remember 97? Everybody was going out wearing black suits for Halloween.
Oh yeah, I remember. I've seen a lot of those. How many people remember Meteor Man by Robert Townsend? Meteor Man.
I remember that, but I never really saw it. I never had a chance to see it.
I saw it, man. That Meteor Man, when he had the cape and that green thing gave him some powers, that Meteor. Oh man, by Robert Townsend, that was awesome. He was a superhero in that. He was fighting everybody, gangsters and everything in the neighborhood. It's called Meteor Man.
Yeah. You ever seen Booty Tang?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Whipping everybody's ass with the belts.
Yeah.
Chris Rock's creation. Or like, was it when he's in the studio? He's not even making a sound when he's singing.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell? Some of the dumbest shit. How was up? What's going on?
Nothing. She said, "Yay, Meteor Man." Yeah.
Yeah.
And she said, "I like Spawn." Yeah, I used to watch Spawn.
I love Spawn. I mean, but it got me looking into esoteric stuff. It also got me into religion, understanding both pro and the dark sides of religions and shit. Because I wanted to understand what the hell was going on. And I was like, that's when I got introduced to things like Wiccan, witchcraft, and stuff like that, and some other dark shit. But I'm glad I understood that shit, because sometimes, you know, you can't know what you're fighting for if you don't know what you're fighting against.
Yeah.
Just like, you know, it's like, you know, it's like, I remember, who was it? The author of the Satanic Bible, he once said, we live in a time, going back in 2014, 2015, he said, when you saw the sectarian violence, he said, nowadays we live in a time where people define themselves on basically what they stand against or what they hate, not what they love, what they stand for, but what they stand against. That doesn't make any sense completely. Yeah, that's incomplete. You gotta know what you stand for and stand against.
Yeah,
you gotta know where you stand. You can't be just changing your mind willy-nilly. But then again, sometimes when the facts change, so does your opinions.
Yeah, usually what it is.
It is what it is.
Callie Jane. Yeah. So the Coliseum is a usual thing. Oh, Artisan is live. He's playing something.
Art New Style?
No, Artisan.
No. I'm gonna tell you something. When we had our chat earlier, when I left, I don't know. One thing I thought was like a cool Christmas gift for me was like when I went on to Spotify.
Yeah.
I found Aaliyah's the One in a Million album. Finally got to listen to that on Spotify. That put a smile on my face. But what really intrigued me is when I found out that she had her own remake of that Marvin Gaye song, Got to Give It Up. Because, you know, her with featuring Slick Rick, I didn't know that. And then when I went to find the original song by Marvin Gaye, man, I wish I had an afro and a laser shoot. I was like I was just getting my boogie on right then and there. You know, man, Marvin knew how to party. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, let me ask you something. Your parents, when they were coming up, what kind of music did they listen to?
Oh, they listen to a variety of things. They listen to R&B, or jazz, blues, combination.
Anybody in particular? Any people in particular?
I think my mom used to listen to Anita Baker, but she's got several of the R&B stars she listened to. She listened to Sade. She listened to Whitney Houston.
I love this one, Ray.
Yeah, she's got.
I love your mom for that. You know,
yeah, she's got a list.
Come on.
Hey, what's up about that? I lost my internet for a section.
Okay. Yeah, that happens sometimes. Yeah,
Yeah, shit happens. Welcome back.
Top of R&B.
Yeah.
No, because what I was mentioning, I was just telling a story of what happened. We had when Sir O had a chat earlier today, or in the morning. When I got off, when I left the chat and everything, I was like going through Spotify looking for some music to listen to, and I came across Aaliyah's "One in a Million" because I didn't know that the "One in a Million" album was there, because I hadn't found that, I hadn't seen that album recently before the last time I was on.
Yeah, actually, I got an iPod. I have that on my iPod. I've got an iPod 256 gig full of downloaded music.
I got the 250 gig, the classic, but
yeah.
But Spotify still kind of comes in handy. But it's good to have both. But listening to that album put a smile on my face, because especially when I discovered, because I had not listened to the whole album completely. I only listened to certain songs. When I got to listen to the whole album, I came across the song, her cover of Marvin Gaye's "Gotta Give It Up," but she featured Slick Rick on it. And I was looking at the backstory about it, trying to understand the lyrics, and she explained it was she was trying to emulate Marvin. She was trying to do like Marvin did, sing real high and everything. So when I started listening to the original Marvin Gaye version, I couldn't help but wish I had my afro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just I was like turning into my father all of a sudden, because that's his era. Him, my uncles. I got an uncle who's who's really a Marvin Gaye fan. Marvin was his go-to.
I had an uncle that liked Barry White.
Oh, tell me something, man. Between Barry White and Isaac Hayes, nobody else could talk on a record, and it would not touch your soul. When those two spoke, especially in the case of Barry, when he spoke on an album, the women were like, "Ooh, Barry."
Yeah.
The women's panties got wet from Barry White.
Yeah.
Isaac Hayes, same thing, but sometimes Isaac Hayes, but there were certain times where Isaac, he was trying to tell you a story, and you listen to it, it touched your soul and everything, made you feel a certain way.
Oh yeah, my favorite track from Isaac Hayes, of course, was Shaft.
Oh, I love Shaft. That was a good song. But his instrumentals, "Hung Up on My Baby," that was good. But the extended version, of course, especially like the guitar solo at the end. But there was also, but I remember when BGS told it, like it had that one, had introduced everybody to the song "By the Time I Get to Phoenix," because you heard of Red Pill Rage. Well, this was Red Pill Tears.
Mm-hmm.
I remember listening to "Walk On By." And the reason I got intrigued to "Walk On By" is because there was a British singer I remember back in the day called Gabrielle. You remember her? With the eye patch and everything? 96, she had her own cover of that song, "Walk On By."
Walk on.
And a lot of people forgetting that song was sampled along with a couple of other things for the Wu-Tang's the song "I Can't Go to Sleep."
Yeah, Isaac Hayes' music has been sampled by several rappers. Like I remember one from the '90s. MC Ren introduced him as a guy named Capital Punishment Organization, CPO for short.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was the track "Ballad of a Menace." That was the Isaac Hayes song. That bassline flow.
If you remember, do you remember the Ghetto Boys? "My Mind's Playing Tricks on Me." They sampled "Hung Up on My Baby." The instrument, the hook of the instrumental and everything.
You know what? I have all of Isaac Hayes album. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I have to find that song. The thing is, no, I have it. I've got a gigabyte file download of Isaac Hayes' albums. I have to find it.
Oh, that's what's up.
"Hung Up on My Baby."
"Hung Up on My Baby."
I'll find it.
I remember Black Guru talking about how that song affected him, and next thing you know, you just imagine the lyrics to go with the song right then and there. It just does something to you. Just listen to that song. Another song I can think of, what's that song about Temptations that was on that was the theme song for Shaft 2, Shaft in Africa?
I don't think I've ever heard that one.
Are you man enough? Big and bad enough?
Oh, okay, I can see that. Yeah.
That was you hear that they played that in the beginning of the movie, and that was on the soundtrack. Shaft in Africa. And god damn it, I was when I saw some of the clips of that, I was like, god damn it, that you were using my own language in that song in that movie. If you ever see if you guys remember when the dude got shot him with the tranquilizer and told the big dude to told the big dude something. The minute I heard that, I was like, god damn it, that was Tigrinya. Because they shot the movie in Ethiopia and Eritrea at the time in 1973, 74. 73, I think, just before. Yeah, 1973. That was the same year they had a huge drought.
Yeah.
And I remember the port scenes, they shot that in the port city of Massawa. That's in Eritrea. And then they shot some more scenes inside Addis Ababa and then further south. And I think that had to do with the drought and everything. But after they wrapped up shooting, I mean, the cast and crew, including especially Richard Roundtree, they were all invited guests to Haile Selassie's Imperial Palace and everything, just to promote the film and everything. And it was a great. And if you ever see if you ever watch the movie, you'll notice like the cars and the buses in that they all have Ethiopian license plates and everything. And that's where that intrigued me a lot. So I was like, wow. But hearing some of the dialogue, I realized I knew exactly which languages they were conversing in. Even though I don't understand some of them, I still know exactly what language it was. But when the big man, but in the beginning, when they kidnapped him, the one who shot him told the big man, "Wasado." Wasado in my mother tongue means take him, take him. That's the first time I've ever heard. Yo, Wasado. But you don't just say Wasada like that, there's like, because languages, every language, it's spoken within the context of the particular culture it comes from, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to say certain things a certain way for it to get across. So you can't just say, you just can't command it like you say in English. It doesn't work like that sometimes.
Right.
So I heard the language, but I was like, what the hell? But yeah, that was interesting. But yeah, Shaft. What else? I remember another Isaac Hayes song. One song everybody knows. Moonlight Lovin'.
Yep.
You know what that song's about. In fact, the backup singers kept saying it. That's the song that introduced everybody to that concept.
Yep.
If you're in the chat, please type it in. What the hell? What am I saying? If you know the concept, please type it in.
Yeah. Ooh.
Trouble Man is an absolute favorite man. Hey, what's going on here, my dear? I want you, but I want you to want me too. Those are good songs. Yeah, Kylie J is on point about that.
Yeah,
we all love Aaliyah. Yeah. When did she die? She died in 2001, but when was it exactly?
It was 2001, I believe. Yeah.
2001. What the month? I mean.
I think it's around the summer. That was Dame Dash's girl. Yeah, I do remember. That's a long time.
Man.
I was sad when she passed. Yeah.
But yeah, it was like she had just put out her third album.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
she died in August. Yeah.
August 25th, just before I was going to turn 19 then. And do you realize it was like just a mere couple of weeks before 9/11?
Yep. Gladys,
when she died.
Nice's niece, Aaliyah. That's her niece. Yeah.
Born in Brooklyn, raised in Detroit. I didn't know that.
Yeah. She was a hell of a. She had a smooth voice. I love the voice. Pretty.
Yeah, she was quite. You know, she was. She was quite a. What can we say? She was like. She just lit up the room when you think about it. Person like that. She just lit up the room, you know. There were certain people who were like that, you know. They had that kind of presence. They just bring a lot of joy to everybody. The way she worked with everybody. I mean, a lot of people were heartbroken with that. I mean, Damon Dash was messed up by it, I'm sure.
Yeah, everybody was.
DMX was heartbroken.
Oh yeah, everybody was. I remember. I was 13 at the time when that happened, before 9/11.
Yeah, I just turned 19. I was like a week away from turning 19 when she died. So I was like, wow. But then when 9/11 happened, I remember I just came home from a distant cousin's graduation and shit. When I went home there, I was checking out the news. I didn't know my cable was out at the time, so I was watching local news, and they started out by talking about 9/11. I saw the wreckage and shit, and I saw the crashes, and I'm like, God damn, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Next day, I fixed my cable. I was watching like nonstop CNN, Al Jazeera, BBC, their coverage of what happened and everything. I was like, God damn. You think about that kind of destruction, but still, but like I said about Aaliyah, you know, Timbaland was also destroyed because one of the first artists he really fucked with, you know, an artist he really had a really good relationship. Him, Missy Elliott, that whole Blackground crew, they all had, you know, they had a great rapport with her.
Yeah.
And just when she thought she didn't have anybody to work with after the R. Kelly thing, she was able to, like, you know, bounce back from that. Especially with the One in a Million album.
Yeah, she did a lot.
Nobody wanted to work with her when she wanted to do her sophomore album. Timbaland took his chance with her, and she was also featured on Missy Elliott's album, because remember Missy had the Super Duper Fly album. She was on that. She had what's his name? Static and a couple other guys, Slick Rick. They didn't care.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's what it is. Malik, what's your take?
Malik, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah, I pushed the mute button on my mic here.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, no, that was good music. Yeah, Missy Elliott. I was never really a Missy Elliott fan. Nightwolf. This was something I heard years ago before Aaliyah died. I don't know if Missy Elliott's straight or bisexual, but I think she had some kind of thing for Aaliyah at the time.
I wouldn't know. There were rumors that she and the Brad had a thing together, but I wouldn't be surprised.
But then again, is a lesbian, of course, yeah.
One of them. Yeah, no, but it didn't matter because
it's confirmed that the Brat's a lesbian because she has a wife, because I think one year her wife gave her like a brand new car for Christmas or something, or a birthday or something like that.
Oh, that's all right, cool, good for her. Because I only know one person who was open about her sexual orientation. That was Queen Pen. You remember Queen Pen?
Never heard of Queen Pen. No, I never heard of her.
Okay, she was a rapper. She was open about her bisexuality. Now, I mentioned Michelle Ndegeocello earlier. Now, Michelle, she is openly bisexual. But I remember Michelle in her first album, Plantation Lullaby, she had a song called If That's Your Boyfriend, He Wasn't Last Night, about how if she slept with another dude, yeah, I did. Now, what happened was, like, in 98, when Queen Pen put out her second album, I believe it was, she had a song called Girlfriend, which is actually a part two to Michelle Ndegeocello's If That's Your Boyfriend. And Michelle was on it, and they're just talking about, you know, they're just talking about being bisexual chicks and shit, and how they're open about it, and they make no excuses about it. It is what it is. And how they'll piss off a chick if they sleep with the dude, or piss off a guy when they find out his girl was messing around behind his back with another chick. But of course, you would be thinking, some of those dudes be thinking like, Cisco in my bed, but not always the case. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody remember that Drew Hill song? Somebody sleeping in my bed?
Nah, I was listening and yeah. But yeah, because I was thinking about Aaliyah, man, she was at that height until those movies, man. I mean, whew, man, like it's been decades since she's been gone. Yeah.
Oh man, it's been 20 years. It's been 20 years since she passed.
Yeah.
Think about
20
that.
plus
20 years now.
21. Yeah, 21 years. Damn, that's a long time.
No, 20. She died in 2001, not 2000. 2001.
Yeah, my fault. Yeah, yes. I forgot. It's 2021. Yeah, I'm ahead of myself already. Next year, yeah, I'm ahead of myself. Yeah, well, next year will be 21 years. God, I'm getting old. All hell, Gray Skull. Yeah.
I gotcha. Also, I had to do Dave Chappelle, you know. I gotcha.
I got you, bitch.
I got you, bitch.
He's like, got you, bitch. Yeah, I used to love Dave Chappelle when I first came to I was already on YouTube, but he was hilarious back in the day. Oh man. Whew. All right, Malik. Not a problem. It's been like almost 4 hours. Woo!
I mean, we got to help. We might as well head to the Coliseum, see what everybody's doing, what everybody's cooking.
Let's see what they talking about. They got Meech over there.
Oh, it's gonna be good if Meech is there. Meech, Malik, I love how I'm hanging with those cats. Those guys, it's always insightful with them, because I know they're Gen Xers, but me being in the first half of my life, because we're all millennials, so we can all bounce back and we just chop it up, because we're like being in that gray area is kind of like you see from both sides.
Oh, they got Charles and BGS over there.
Oh, we got to get there. Who knows? Have they started? Have they started yet? Could be the Madden. They could be starting Madden.
They ain't started yet. They just talking. So
this should be fun. Well, I'll see you. I'll probably see you over there then. May the villainous sphere continue being villainous. Good night, everyone. And if anybody expects me to play their game, then I'll play dirty. Good night. Keith David does a better voice than Michael J. White. That's what I realized just now. Oh well. Later.
All right, peace. Yeah, folks, this is it's been 3 hours, it's almost 4 hours, but yeah, man, it's kind of wild right now. And I'll be like, hold on for a minute. I'm gonna shut this down because I always want to do a redo because I know I was gonna do a stream, but appreciate that everybody came through. Wolf, Malik X, and Chaos Rain, and shouts out to everybody that came through. And yeah, I'm about to shut this down because I done been on that long. So yes, the next morning, sorry the past is in the midnight. So you know how it is. So I'm going to look at what's going on. I ain't gonna be over there that much longer, but yeah, I'm gonna look at the band. I'm gonna take this off. Let's see. I'll be back around 2:40 Eastern time Sunday. I know today's Sunday. I know it's midnight. So with that, I appreciate everybody come through. All I gotta say is peace and shalom. All hell, Gray Skull. Peace.